will reduce the average sentence for a crack cocaine offense by 15 months.
Well.
Yeah, so when in doubt, light up. The change put in place by the U.S. Sentencing Commission could be applied retroactively, which would mean an early release for more than 260 prisoners in northern Indiana and almost 20,000 nationwide. This is a clear recognition by Congress that the penalties imposed for crack were unfair, said Kerry Collins. Oh, gee, I thought he was a football player. A community defender at the federal courthouse in Hammond, Indiana. The reason for the sentence reduction is to address a disparity created in the 80s when Congress established mandatory minimum sentences for drug crimes. The law set up a system where crack cocaine, which is made from powder cocaine, carried much stiffer sentences than its powdered derivative. Take a powder. Take a BC powder, baby. If you're a real redneck, you got a headache, take a BC powder. I got a headache from this fax you sent me. Not really.
Which one's
that? That was the intent. See, my birthday is on Monday. Mm-hmm. And I realize it's only Friday. You know, we got the whole weekend. And then on Monday there'll be just thousands of faxes pouring in. Happy birthday, old man, you old faggot. Like that, you know. But today what I get, and we had one from this fake faxer the other day, Janice Sherman. Wasn't it yesterday? I think. Neil, when are you going on vacation again so I can listen to George and Lucy? They're not as old and boring as you. Well, guess what? How do you like that? Go listen to Footy, okay? He's not as old, but much more boring. Listen to Footy, and wait till you hear his poll. Who's got ED? Who's got VD on the Footy show? Is it the Lord of the Board, or is it Johnny Dolan? Hey, who's got the VD over there, or ED, whatever it is? Footy, you're pathetic. Gary T. in Weston says you may want to try taking cinnamon capsules at your local health food store. Real cheap. Also, I've been drinking acai berry juice, available in most supermarkets or health food stores. It's not for everybody, and it's being sold. I've got some. I'm not drinking it. I've got one of those pyramid things, you know, and they keep sending me these cartons of this crap every month, and I don't know how to stop it.
Well, you were eating cinnamon for a while.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You know something? I quit eating crap, and now all of a sudden my blood sugar is not perfect, but it's a lot better today.
Shocking.
156 this morning, which is still 50 points too high, but nevertheless, it's better than 200 points too high or 150 points too high. 3 days of no crap.
You're on your way, man.
I'm on my way to, and after 2 or 3 days, when you do the Atkins diet, you lose your sugar cravings. That's the good part. Just don't start again. So thanks, Gary T. in Weston. See, there's a guy that cares. Also, here's another fact that says, if you Google caveman diet, I think you'll find it quite interesting. Yeah, I got a book about that. If you can't shoot it, catch it, or pick it, don't eat it.
Oh, okay.
You can pick your nose, but don't eat it. No dairy, no potatoes, no grains, no nuts, no processed foods, lots of lean meat, fish, veggies, and fruit. The rawer the better. No fruit.
No fruit.
See, fruit is sugar. I don't know why people don't understand. Well, I guess anybody who is not diabetic doesn't get that. You know?
Yeah.
Fruit is not for diabetics, although some of it, like watermelon's okay. I do like watermelon. Okay, here's the poll from yesterday. What's the see, I already read this. What? Well, no, we switched in the middle of the show, and I read the final. I don't want to read that again. I'd rather spank myself in the head and read that crap again. That was a bad poll. Come on, Charlie B., you can do better than that. Here's Brandon's poll, and by the way, Brandon informs me that Don No, what does Don
know?
Is retiring after 28 years on the air in South Florida, and Brandon says, you'll be next. Thanks, Brandon, you punk. That way, I perceive that as a shot, wouldn't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I took that as a shot. Yeah, you're saying that because you and he hate each other like poison for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I'm taking your side because I thought that was a real shot.
Good.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to show up here every day. And I have, nice low blood sugar today. I don't feel like I'm slurring my words. I can almost speak today for the first time in, 2-3 months. Now I'll be dangerous. See, if I could ever get my blood sugar under control, then I would be dangerous. Otherwise, I'm just like a doddering old blah, 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 like that, slurring and mailing it in. What were you going to say? Oh, I know what you can say, douchebag.
That's right, scumbag. Don't you forget it. I'm actually pumped that I can say this.
When you're on this show, if you're going to do by the Joyce rules, then I'm not going to be real happy with you. Because Joyce, she's not the FCC. Now, the fart stuff, we can't control that because Steve Lerner, or whatever the guy's name was, the FCC attorney for Beasley, he agreed with her because he's on their payroll and he'll write whatever crap they want him to write. But as far as words like douchebag, it's just arbitrary. I've been saying that for 100 years. Well, what's the problem with that? Why is that obscene?
I was saying it in third grade, if not earlier.
Why is it obscene? What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
Can anybody define for me what's wrong with it? Does it have to do with excretory activity? Is it a sexually... no, of course not.
Well, actually.
No. 851 votes on today's poll. Let's get down to the religious thing. If the law said you had to have a religion, which one would you choose? We're not allowing any cop-outs on this poll. No atheist, agnostic, none of the above, I don't wanna. Rastafarian, 172, winning hands down, because they want to smoke the rope, baby. Rastafarian, that's got to be the only reason, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica.
And maybe I'll play that later. Not now. Rastafarian 172, Jewish 136. We want that deli, baby. We want those matzo balls. We want those cheese blintzes and kishki. No Pasadiki candy, though, man. It's get your blood sugar way up there. And so will the matzo balls, by the way.
They got an awesome New York deli down here, like right by the
Where's
station. It's right on, like, Miami Gardens. It's called Roasters and Toasters. Man, you walk in there, and it's just so Jewish. I mean, I know that's what it is. It's like
so Jewish?
But it's ridiculous. I mean,
what would you want it to be? You want the Pope to be in there?
No, I just think it's funny. Like, if you want to stereotype a deli, like, this is your place.
What's the name of it?
Roasters and Toasters.
Roasters and Toasters. And it's good, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Well, that's good. I hope it's better than Cheesecake Factory that you were promoting yesterday.
I said it's good. I mean, I'm sorry you had a bad experience.
It's not good. It's not good. 4 people eating, 4 meals were grotesque, and the desserts were puke-inducing. Industrial strength. Just a big hard brick of chocolate. And you know, it's kind of hard to make chocolate not taste good, you know, so you might want to finish it. Not even close. Just like, feh. Feh. Even the Arabs, when they go in there, say feh. Anyway, Jewish 136 for the food and the Yiddish. Can't think of anything else. Catholic 136, tied with the Jews. Uh-oh. Buddhist 130, Wiccan 88, Episcopalian 35, Methodist 33, Baptist 26. All right. See, I think a lot of people just put on here whatever they are. You know what I mean? Don't you think so?
Sure.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's not good. That goes to show you the extent to which they're brainwashed. Santeria 23. Nail that chicken, baby. Nail it right to the door. Put a mezuzah on one side and a dead chicken on the other side. You got it licked. Mormon 17, Scientologist 13, Shinto 12. Now, see, I don't know anything about that.
I was just going to ask you what exactly that is.
Japanese, but maybe we'll have to Google it.
That's what I'm doing.
About it. Hindu 12, Jehovah's Witness 7. You go knock down your neighbor's door. The end is coming. The end is coming. Well, here we are all these years later, and the end still ain't come yet. Although, if we got another year of Bush, we sure got a shot at it, though. Muslim 7. Oh, I forgot Fat-Ass Jolly Joe. He doesn't share my views on the president because Fat-Ass Jolly Joe's an idiot. Muslim 7, Christian Scientists only 5, Pentecostal 4, and Seventh-day Adventist 3. Now, I get confused. Aren't the Seventh-day Adventists the one that make all that vegetarian stuff that you buy in the freezer compartment in your grocery?
I have no idea.
Those meatless sausages, and is that Seventh-day Adventist?
Josh?
I don't know.
See, we need George here this week for answering, because he's an expert on religious crap. And Lucy Lopez, too, of course. She probably knows it. By the way, Chris says that Lucy Lopez is crap on the air. Isn't that what you said? Not good.
Yeah, something like that. Not for me.
Not for you. Josh, of course, likes it because anybody with a skirt. That's what you share with George.
No, I genuinely think that she's good on the air.
Oh. She's not good off the air?
No, she's great off the air as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's hear a little bit more about that later.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Air around the clock. Beat the Broadcasters is back. About 30, man.
Okay, 10:19 at 560 WQAM. Let's take a look at that Friday, November 2nd schedule, baby. It is really something. We got Mad Dog at 2, the Power Hour with Hank and the Mad Dog between 4 and 5. That thing really took off there for a little while, and then it kind of crashed and burned. 5 to 7, it's the Humper all by himself. And then we really get into a lot of trouble. Man, Friday nights are a fright. It's Friday night fright night at QAM. 7 to 9, it's that Dolphins infomercial, Miami Dolphins all asses with Barry Butel and John Offerdahl. Fantasy Playbook with a Big O and Mish, 9 to 10. Fantasy Playbook, oh my God. 10 o'clock, it's ESPN Radio Primetime with more Keyshawn and Bill Parcells. And by the way, Clarence, you're a moron. Everybody knows that, but he's got on here, he writes, with more Keyshawn and Tuna Bill Parcells. Well, like I said last week, his nickname is the Big Tuna, not Tuna, in addition to which, why would anybody put that in there unless they're like an overgrown child? Sounds like a douchebag to me, Josh.
Yes, I agree.
Midnight, Ed Kaplan Friday Night Handicrappers, followed by the Troy Aikman Show, 1 to 2 in the morning.
You fairy.
And then that's it. Then we kind of sign off. Wow. I think we're going to make 1,000 votes safely on the poll today.
Oh,
A lot
right.
of people out there are very concerned about that. 883 we got now. I think we can make 1,000. Don't be coming up with some crazy number. It's Friday. A year before voters go to the polls to select the next president, the Republican Party is as weak as it has been in a generation, a detailed new poll suggests. That's good news. In a hypothetical matchup between Hillary Clinton and Rudy Giuliani, block after block of traditionally Republican voters break for Swillery. She wins the South. She polls evenly with voters who attend church at least once a week. She splits families with the Getchkis. She splits families with a household income above $100,000. She loses rural voters and men, but only by a very narrow margin. All our constituencies that Republicans have dominated for decades. George W. Bush won each by double-digit margins. The findings from the Pew Research Center for the People and the Press remain preliminary, considering even the primaries are still 2 months off. But Pew questioned an unusually large number of voters to try to paint the most accurate picture possible of where the presidential contest stands today. Should the race continue down to its current trajectory, the poll finds Clinton defeating Giuliani by 8 percentage points. Other recent polls, however, place Giuliani ahead of Clinton in a head-to-head race. But those polls predict Clinton would beat Fred Thompson, John McCain, or Mitt Romney. And Barack Obama would defeat Giuliani, though narrowly, at least according to 4 polls taken in October. In fact, Democrats hold a marked advantage over Republicans in the eyes of voters. In July 2004, the Democratic Party had a slight lead as the party better able to manage the federal government and as the party that's more honest and ethical. Today, Democrats lead both categories by double-digit margins. It's like, pick your poison. Which one is the most offensive, the most malignant? That's what we're dealing with. Not which one is good. Today, Democrats lead both categories by double-digit margins. By even larger margins, Democrats are seen as the party more concerned about people like me by 29 points, and the party best able to bring about needed change by 22 points. Other polling has also shown that for the first time in decades, Americans now see the two parties as equally qualified to face down national security threats, erasing the security advantage Republicans have long relied on, the fear factor. Republican insiders dismiss the findings as largely irrelevant because they come so far before Election Day. Pew pollsters agree that, as well as Democrats are positioned today, much could change in the next year. It's very early in the race. We would all be shocked if the South went for Clinton, said Michael Dimma, Pew's Associate Director of Research. One factor the poll reflects is the lack of focus among Republicans right now. If it turns out to be a subway race between Giuliani and Clinton, Pew further found that 2/3 of Republicans say their vote for the Republican would be more accurately described as a vote against Clinton and not a vote for Giuliani. He looks like Herman Munster on a bad day. But that's the way it is. I mean, who cares how he looks, right? He's a jackass. 834, 894. Holy moly, we're going to make over 900 this hour. 895, we're alive. Yep. Guess who else is still alive?
Who?
Let me give you a little clue with big news. I'll find it. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is.
Imus is so boring.
That's the clue.
Did he start today?
No, he starts December 3rd, but I'm glad you asked.
I thought he died like 10 years ago.
He did.
He did.
He's still on the air, though.
Seriously, I mean, it's hard for me to believe, but you said that this man did good radio at one time?
Long time ago, yeah.
Wow.
Were people able to understand
him
back
did
then?
I. It's official. Don Imus is coming back to the airwaves, confirming a story first written by the New York Post in August. Citadel Broadcasting Corp. and 77 WABC Radio. That's where he's coming back, baby.
WABC!
Right. Announced yesterday the return of radio's lone cowboy. Don Imus is the station's new morning host beginning Monday, December the 3rd. A source involved with the deal said that Imus signed a 5-year deal with Citadel that pays him between $5 million and $8 million a year. You know something? When you're a dead man in a chair, snapping gum with a stupid cowboy hat on, and you're making $5 to $8 million a year, you're not doing bad. You know what I mean? Imus is bringing his team back. Oh, I bet you if what's his name, Sid the Kid is listening. Well, I'm sure he's all well aware of this. He's probably halfway to New York by now. Imus is bringing his team back to the radio on 77 WABC, including newsman Charles McCord, and is unseating the incumbent highly rated Curtis and Kuby show. That's that obnoxious Curtis Sliwa, the guardian angel jackass, that right-wing lunatic. The show will air 6 to 10 a.m. on 77 WABC and will be syndicated nationally by the ABC Radio Network. We are ecstatic to bring Don Imus back to morning radio, said 77 WABC President and General Manager Steve Borneman. I wonder if some of my oldies jingles are from WABC. Think?
We just played one.
That wasn't a jingle.
77 WABC.
Wow, hit the jackpot. No, it doesn't turn to gold, it just turns real old. You know, like Imus. He's 100 years old. He's even older than me. Don's unique brand of humor, knowledge of the issues, and ability to attract big-name guests is unparalleled. He is rested, fired up, and ready to do great radio on the nation's most listened-to news talk radio station, 77 WABC, said Borneman.
He's ready to do great radio, huh?
Well, I wouldn't get carried away. Imus is also in talks on separate television deal akin to the one he had with MSNBC, although the source was unsure if those negotiations would be wrapped up in time to announce a deal simultaneous with the Citadel one. Among the television stations being talking with Imus about a deal is RFD-TV, a farming-focused satellite TV network that was previously granted exclusive access to Imus's ranch for a documentary that aired over Labor Day weekend. While Imus will begin his return on that station alone just 6 months short after being universally ostracized for calling the Rutgers University women's basketball team nappy-headed hoes, the source said it's more likely than not that the radio rack on tour will eventually be syndicated across all ABC Radio's 22 stations. In a previous interview with the Post back in August, Citadel Communications CEO Fareed Suleiman said he thought Imus's availability represented an opportunity and he would consider hiring him only if he could make the numbers work. Such modesty belies the can't-lose proposition that bringing back Imus is for Suleiman. If the shock jock flames out on his return, Suleiman can point to Imus's comments about the Rutgers University women's basketball team as having tarnished him forever. Bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bob. Senator Hillary Clinton even referred to Imus as Satan and called his remarks small-minded bigotry. Satan, he's the devil. In August, Suleiman signed a deal to return the unctuous Bob Grant back to WABC New York after 11 years in exile for comments he made about Commerce Secretary Ron Brown following the fatal crash of Brown's plane. According to the source, Suleiman's got no plans to reach out to the African-American community or the Rutgers University women's basketball team prior to or after Imus's return, as if they've got like some, right of first refusal, as a censorship rights. Crap.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Fatwa Friday, you bastards.
Newbie and Queenie, the makers of many fine hair straightener products, presents the Imus and Andy Show.
Opening up a noodle shop show was a fine idea, Imus.
Oh, well, I ought to do something after getting fired. I only had $10 million left.
You sure make a fine donut.
Well, thanks.
Grand opening be tomorrow?
Yeah, but I need your help.
Now, how that?
Oh, well, I'm after mixing up the dough. I dropped a nail in the batter.
That gonna matter?
Health inspector's coming tomorrow.
Oh.
You're not gonna eat all these donuts until I find a nail. You want to help?
Sure. Let's start eating. Oh, Lordy. We be eating all night long.
Yeah, no, I only got one left. Still no nail.
Uh-oh. People start coming in, Petey. You better get open.
The health inspector's here.
Morning, Imus. I'm from the health department. Thought I'd try one of your famous donuts.
Yeah, sir. But you don't want to eat that one.
Why not?
Let me get rid of the quality control test. Andy.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
I think you better get Calhoun a lawyer.
10:34:26 before 11 at 560 WQAM. Happy Friday to you. Happy birthday to me on Monday. Wow, I'm pretty excited about it, right? No.
Excited to be a senior citizen.
To be a senior citizen officially. Well, at least I made it anyway. Not only did I make it on the air here 31 and a half years, in spite of being old and boring and whatever that fact said, but also made it to 65, or at least close to it. I still got to get through the weekend.
Yeah, you're not there yet.
Don't count your chickens until they hatch. That's one thing when you get to be this age. When you wake up every morning, it's like a real machaya. Oh, I'm alive, like that. I don't know who is alive over there across the street, but evidently not Stu Gatz and his buddy Dan LeBastard for a show that allegedly has got those gigantic inflated bogus numbers. I just printed this out from his offers, because yesterday we sold out in less than an hour. What did we ever figure out how long it was?
Yeah, I can pull it up again. It's like 54 minutes or something like that. 56
54 minutes we sold out our certificates, and rightfully so, from Maccabi Steakhouse, which the food was sensational by all reports. And I'm looking at Stu Gatz's Fitty Club across the street. They had Daisy Duke's Saloon yesterday in Pembroke Pines. I'm trying to help them out a little bit, because obviously they haven't got enough of an audience to get the job done. They still got 37 left from yesterday. From the week before, Galuppi's, they have 51 left. 51 left from a week ago. A week ago yesterday.
That's how they roll.
What?
That's how they do it.
What do you mean?
Meaning like nobody's listening.
Joseph's on the Water from 2 weeks ago yesterday, 36 left, and 6 tables from 3 weeks ago yesterday.
About 30, man.
30 left. Boy, you guys aren't peddling crap, so anybody that would buy advertising on that station with their bogus numbers, you people would have to be dreaming. You'd have to be insane, unless they're doing like $1 a holler.
57 minutes yesterday.
See, less than an hour yesterday we sold them out. I was a little bit nervous about it, but nevertheless.
Like you always are.
Well, yeah, because I want to push it, man. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing death. Now, let's see how we're doing on our poll. Well, 916, old bean. That's good. It means we'll make 1,000 in the next hour or so. Paul Tibbets is dead. Isn't that a shame?
Who?
Paul Tibbets, who piloted the B-29 bomber, the Enola Gay, that dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima, died yesterday. He was 92 and insisted for 6 decades after the war that he had no regrets about the mission and slept just fine at night. Did either one of you, by the way, Google Shinto? No.
Yes, I did.
And what did it say?
Shinto is a native religion of Japan, and once its state religion involves the worship of kami.
Kami?
Yeah, kami are local and can be regarded as the spiritual being / spirit or genius of a particular place.
Don't say that in Little Havana that they worship kami.
Well, it's Kami in this case.
I know what it is. And? So it's just another fairy tale.
Correct. Yeah, a bunch of crap.
Tibbets died at his home in Columbus. He suffered from a variety of health problems and had been in decline for 2 months. Well, he was 92, for Christ's sakes. That's plenty old enough. Tibbets had unless, of course, you're 91. Tibbets had requested no funeral and no headstone, fearing it would provide his detractors with a place to protest, said Jerry Newhouse, a longtime friend. Tibbets' historic mission in the plain name for his mother, Enola Gay. Isn't that interesting how over the decades, over the years, certain words have changed in meaning, like gay, like that. Oh, we don't want that. That means happy. It used to mean happy, and we know that all the gays want to commit suicide. Right.
Now, I had a gay get really offended one time that I said that.
Said what?
Because, I use that in, in my vocabulary, gay is that's lame or that's stupid. I'll be like, don't be gay. You know what I mean? That's just how I talk. And I happen to say that.
What do you mean that's just how you talk?
That's just how I talk.
That's the way he rolls.
Don't be gay, or that's so gay. Let's say
you're going to get your show canceled, just like what's his name, Dog the Bounty Hunter. For using that N-word. But go ahead. And
I wound up saying that in the mall, and there was a gay guy standing, and he turned and looked at me like I had said the N-word to a black guy, and it was just, I thought it was kind of funny.
Did he say anything, or he just give you like that?
No, he just gave me this dirty look. And
Let me remind you of one great line from the movie The Boys in the Band, okay?
Okay.
Beware the hostile fag.
Okay, anyway. I just love that line. It's funny. In fact, the whole movie is depressing and funny at the same time, which is really something. Tibbets' historic mission in the plain name for his mother marked the beginning of the end of WW2 and eliminated the need for what military planners feared would have been an extraordinarily bloody invasion of Japan. It was the first use of a nuclear weapon in wartime. It was the only use. Well, that was the first one, and then, of course, the Nagasaki. We socked it to them. 3 days later, the U.S. dropped a second nuclear bomb on Nagasaki, killing an estimated 40,000 people. Tibbets didn't fly in that mission. His plane and its crew of 14 dropped the 5-ton Little Boy bomb on the morning of August 645, killed 70 to 100,000 people, injured countless others, and then, of course, a lot of people's eyes started melting, stuff like that. The Japanese surrendered a few days after Nagasaki, ending the war. They said, enough already, gnug. Morris Jepson, the officer who armed the bomb during the Hiroshima flight, said Tibbets was energetic, well-respected, and hard-nosed. Ending the war saved a lot of U.S. armed forces and Japanese civilians and military, Jepson said. History has shown there was no need to criticize him. He's dead. See, the Lord works in mysterious ways. Tibbets took quiet pride in the job he had done, said journalist Bob Greene, who wrote the Tibbets biography, Duty, a Father, His Son, and the Man Who Won the War. He said what they needed was someone who could do this and not flinch, and that was me, Greene said. Paul Warfield Tibbets, Jr. He was born in Quincy, Illinois, and spent most of his boyhood in Miami. In Miami. That's what turned him into a killer. Into a butcher. He spent most of his boyhood in Miami. Paul Warfield Tibbets. How do you like that? Maybe he was named after Paul Warfield. Maybe his parents were prescient.
Maybe
they had like a vision. That good old Paul Warfield would be a great receiver in the NFL for the Browns and, of course, for the Dolphins. For your Dolphins back when they had a team that somebody might want to watch. But long ago.
Biggest names.
Long time ago.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
You got the big cleats, small cleats, fat cleats, thin cleats, short cleats, tall cleats. Cleats for the feet. Cleats for the feet.
Yeah.
That's what I got me some cleats.
All kinds of cleats.
Got the cleats for the feet.
Cleats.
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 I could say cleats.
For the feet. Okay, it's 10:47. That's the problem with the Dolphins. Too many defeats. 9:46 on the poll. Boy, we're going to be close to 1,000 by the top of the hour when the little hand hits the big hand at 11 o'clock. We're making some strides now, making some progress. Got a couple of really nice messages about Zach.
Wow.
Enjoyed having Zach on for a couple
They must
days.
hate me.
No, they
hey,
don't
Zach,
hate
come
you.
on back, buddy.
See, you take it as a personal shot.
Come on back, Alec Baldwin.
You sure weren't saying that yesterday when you had all that great free food in there from Maccabi Steakhouse.
Tell you what, I'll fill in on Thursdays.
Oh, what a schnorrer, man. No, just they thought he did a fine job. One of them actually said he had a wonderful voice, which I always thought Zach had a very kind of raspy, annoying voice. But, he's a good guy.
Maybe his girlfriend said that.
Yeah, it was whatever it was. No, we enjoyed having him here, and it sure as hell beat the hell out of having Robert Grieper come in here, who hates me and hates the show and hates everybody in the world, and we all hate him, too. So
the Grim Reaper, the Lord of the Board?
Robert Grieper, the Lord of the Board, the Grim Reaper. Saudi Arabia could have helped the U.S. prevent al-Qaeda's 2001 attacks on New York and Washington. Boy, this is really a joke. If American officials had consulted Saudi authorities in a credible way, the kingdom's former ambassador said in a documentary aired yesterday. The comments by Prince Bandar bin Sultan, also known as Bandar Bush, he's the one that holds W's hand, are similar to the remarks this week by Saudi King Abdullah that suggested Britain could have prevented the July 2005 train bombings in London if it had heeded warnings from Riyadh. Speaking to the Arabic satellite network Al Arabiya on Thursday, Bandar, now Abdullah's national security advisor, said Saudi intelligence was actively following most of the 9/11 plotters with precision. If U.S. security authorities had engaged their Saudi counterparts in a serious and credible manner, in my opinion, we could have avoided what happened, he said. And, of course, since he's such good bunk bed buddies with the George W., how come they weren't on the horn with W., with the White House, saying, oh, guess what, we got a bunch of slime balls, a bunch of scumbags here who are going to, blow up the World Trade Center in the Pentagon, huh? Bandar was the Saudi ambassador to Washington for nearly 22 years before being replaced in 2005. A knowledgeable U.S. official told CNN that Bandar's comments should be taken with a grain of salt. Yeah, Morton salt. It's kosher, baby. Oh, don't say that. They get upset over there when you say it's kosher. It's halal. On Monday, Abdullah told the BBC that Saudi Arabia had sent warnings to British authorities before the London subway bombings that killed 52 people, the city's bloodiest day since WW2. We've sent information to Great Britain before the terrorist attacks in Britain, Abdullah said, but unfortunately, no action was taken and it may have been able to avert the tragedy. Keep in mind, all but 4 of the suicide hijackers who carried out the 9/11 plots were Saudi nationals, and after the attacks, the kingdom was widely criticized, and rightfully so, for having tolerated Islamic militancy. They don't just tolerate it, they fund it, they encourage it, they teach it. They're all about it. The Saudis have called the criticism unfair, pointing out that al-Qaeda founder Osama bin Laden's original grievance was against the country's ruling family, which invited U.S. troops into the kingdom after the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in 1990. A string of attacks on Western compounds and installations and Saudi institutions between 2003 and 2006 were blamed on al-Qaeda's followers. And Saudi officials say that since 9/11, they've taken steps to ensure charitable donations don't fall into the hands of al-Qaeda. Right. There's the first place. We should have bombed, we should have flattened the damn place and hooked the American up to those oil pumps. As a matter of fact, I got a story in here somewhere. Let me move it up in my pile, okay?
Do that.
Oh, I got some good stuff today. I got some heavy-duty stuff today about gas prices. Oh, it's from the Scum Sentinel. I can't read it. Gas prices could rise by 35 cents as holidays approach.
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. President, for those bargain basement gas prices. Boy, that was sure a wonderful idea, doing that Iraq attack. Worked like a charm. Piece of cake. Drivers can expect higher gas prices. See, that's what it's all about. That's what the whole world is all about. Is M-O-N-E-Y, baby. Anybody who doesn't understand that is living in la-la land. You're an idiot. That's what the whole world is about, is dollars and cents. Just like that scene in Network where Howard Beale is sitting at the end of the IT&T boardroom table, and Ned Beatty sitting at the other end. Remember that? Were you asleep by that point?
The world is a business?
Yeah.
Listen to me. Television is not the truth. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence.
I have chosen you to preach this, Mr. Beale.
Why me?
Because you're on television, dummy.
There you go. With oil prices reaching a grotesque $96 a barrel yesterday, analysts say consumers will begin feeling it at the pump in time for Thanksgiving. Just in time to have something to be thankful for. Those bargain basement gas prices, Mr. President, Mr. Butcher, Mr. Lunatic, Mr. Dumbo, Mr. Boofus Ass. They'll also feel it when they fly. American and Delta Airlines yesterday raised round-trip tickets $20 to recover some of the cost of higher fuel prices. We're just now beginning to see the impact of $80 to $85 oil trickling down to the consumer level, said Stephen Shork, rhymes with dork, editor of energy newsletter The Shork Report, who predicts gas prices will go up by about 15 cents a gallon by Christmas and could go higher by as much as 35 cents. On Thursday, average gas prices in West Palm Beach crossed the $3 gallon threshold, up almost 3 cents overnight. In Fort Lauderdale, they hit $2.95. What a bargain. Consumers said that if gas rises by the amount predicted, it could affect their holiday shopping decisions. People will buy fewer gifts, said Pradal Vilme, a Miramar mortgage broker and real estate agent who's a member of the South Florida Sun Sentinel gas panel. Oh, yeah, you know what they sit around? They pass gas at the Sun Sentinel. Right in Tom Jicka's face. More immediately, Vilma said, a jump in prices could cause him to curb some non-essential trips. You'll think twice about driving to visit friends or go miles away to visit anything, he said. Or like drive to Tampa to go to Burns Steakhouse or Crystal. Demand for gasoline traditionally dips in September and October with the end of summer vacation driving and gradual reduction in daylight driving hours. Typically, gasoline prices fall. This year they've risen, but not nearly as sharply as crude oil prices, which rose 20% in October. That's about to change. Thanksgiving is a major driving holiday with more than 30 million car trips.
About 30, man.
50 miles or more planned annually, according to the Orlando-based travel club AAA. And in December, people tend to take more car trips to malls to shop for presents. Usually by Thanksgiving, you'll begin to see a material uptick in gasoline demand. What did I say?
What'd you say?
So I said uptick, Dick. How much gasoline prices will rise is a tougher call. National retail prices pegged at $2.87 a gallon, according to the most recent U.S. Department of Energy report, should reach $3 by early December and most certainly by Christmas, Short said. All right. That means here, no doubt, $5 a gallon. Take me to your leader. That's a good idea. Keep that car in the parking garage, in the covered parking garage downstairs. Keep it down there. He added that it's conceivable that prices by then could hit $3.22 a gallon, peak from earlier this year, recorded just before the Memorial Day weekend. Mark Vittner, senior economist at banking firm Wachovia Corp., said the company has given up predicting gas prices for the time being because of the incredible volatility in the oil markets. The $90-plus price for crude oil could be a temporary blip or more permanent change, he said. The longer oil prices remain this high, the more certain I am that gas prices are going to rise, in a very, very perceptive comment he made. I mean, a little child could have told you that. Oil prices are making other forms of transport beside the automobile more expensive. Fort Lauderdale-based Region 7 Seas Cruises expects to decide in the next few days whether to add a fuel surcharge on 2008 voyages. All you idiots out there that want to do cruises, you're crazy people. Or maybe you're just suicidal, I don't know. Gasoline prices have risen about 9 cents a gallon in Florida over the past month, according to AAA. The Energy Department, which releases new forecast next week, has projected that gas prices will average $2.75 a gallon for all of this year, a 6.9% increase from last year. The galloping cost of crude oil, driven by worldwide demand, has been the primary force driving gas costs higher as the Saudis and your president conspire hand in hand to rape the American people and people all over the world. And Hugo Chavez is sitting down there in Venezuela laughing his ass off. 958 votes on the poll. Boy, that's a pretty good number for 11 o'clock. Although this is not, this doesn't require an opinion. Well, it does require an opinion. It requires a little bit of thinking. But I think most of these people are just putting whatever they are, And I voted for Jewish, which I was born at, but it's got nothing to do with religion.
Yeah, yours is about the food.
It's all about the food, like everything else when you're a fat slob. You ought to know that, Chris. If the law said you had to have a religion, which one would you choose? Rastafarian, 192 man. Buddhist, 151. Jewish, 150. And Catholic, 148. Boy, the Buddhists, the Jews, and the Catholics are in a neck-and-neck, nose-to-nose battle. And I thought the Buddhists were always like peace-loving, mind-your-own-business kind of folks. Wiccan, way down to Wiccans, 96. Methodist, 41. Episcopalian, 39. I think the Wiccan thing is like a carryover from Halloween. Methodist, 41. Episcopalian, 39. Baptist, 29. Santeria, 23. Mormon, 17. Hindu, 16. Shinto, 14. Scientologist, 14. Muslim, 9. Jehovah's Witnesses, 7.
Just keep stinking, stinking, and 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 stinking, stinking, and. In this little room, I heard a big boom. When I turned around, could not see whom. And made the air here smell just like a tune. It was the clock of doom, and so ain't no perfume. We got a toxic emission, light a macro ignition. Open all the doors, yeah, that's what I'm wishing. Can't get the smell out, so get the hell out. Pull the window up and jump down now. Can hardly draw a breath, turning blue, I'm near death. Run away, northwest, east, south. Somebody, they know they did it. Got sticky, cause they farted. Yeah, they farted. Yeah, they farted. Somebody farted. Somebody farted in here. Somebody farted. You smell that? Somebody farted in here. Somebody farted. Hey, somebody farted in here. Somebody farted. Somebody farted in here. Somebody.
Well, that's wonderful. It's all about farts and doesn't have any fart sound, so we can actually play it. Take that and put it in your pipe or in your rectum, Joyce. How do you like that? And you too, Fat Ass Jolly Joe, although I doubt there's any room left over. 975 on the survey, by the way, in our which religion would you pick? Would you pick your nose or pick your rectum? What would you pick?
Hedonism.
No, that's not an answer, okay?
What do you
Don't
mean
try
that's
to be
not
a
an
wise
answer?
guy, okay? Answer the question.
Okay, Catholic, because I'm Catholic.
See, there you go. Because you're brainwashed. I don't think you're very brainwashed. I think you broke away. And, of course, you were an altar boy, no doubt.
Get the hell out of here. Altar boy.
What are you laughing about? What's so funny about that?
I was not an altar boy,
well, no, because you were too ugly, obviously.
Whatever you say, buddy. No, I never bought it, you know.
You never bought into the bull crap?
No, I was raised to it. You know, I used to skip Sunday school and just play paper basketball in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started going to private school, I was like, are you people crazy or? I don't know.
Yes.
I saw through it the whole time.
That's right. All these people are crazy. The religious people are the crazy people. All you kids are playing hooky from school today. Just remember, Uncle Neil told you. And this is the only place you'll hear the truth about it because everybody else is scared to death of religion. Oh, they're going to come after us. Yeah, screw them. They're all crazy people. You look all over the world today and all these people killing each other. I'd say this every time I can, every chance I get. All because of that good old-time religion. All of man-made, and of course that's why they need to watch desperately that Zeitgeist, the movie thing. Oh, and let me also, speaking of movies, tell you that Hostel 2 sucks. I enjoyed the first one, and I'm not one of those people, in spite of the fact you accuse me of being a real wuss about violent and bloody movies. It doesn't bother me in the least bit. I'm not a wuss, although Trainspotting was that had nothing to do with bloodiness and guts. That was like
that had to
else.
do with the
other stuff. Too much crap.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the first Hostel, but this one was, there was no story at all. There was no story at all. All it was is just a lot of bloody gore and, if you like that, if you're into that, great. There's plenty of it there, including the one guy getting his sliced off. If you want to see that. I guess I could say penis. Sliced off. And there's this one chick in the movie. It's all.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Are there any boobies? In the first one, there was a little bit.
Yeah. Nasty ones, not good ones.
No.
And then
wait. Well, wait. I'm not necessarily taking that to heart.
What do you mean nasty?
Nasty boobies.
Like
from this nasty looking, and the way she acts in the movie is like she goes out of her way to seem like the wallflower. She's like a reel with a big schnoz, you know. She just nobody would touch her with a 100-foot pole. But at any rate, they finally did touch her, and they hung her upside down, and then this dyke comes in. Oh, yeah, that's right, you do. There's that one good scene you'd enjoy. The dyke comes in, and she lies stark naked underneath the hanging body, and then she takes the knife, and she's like slicing her with it, and then she finally chops her head off.
Okay.
And all the blood comes just gushing down all over her, and she's just, covering herself all with her blood. She's getting into it big time. But at any rate, it's a horrible movie. Hostel 2. It sucks. Save your money, okay? Speaking of religious getchkis and all this other rape of the American public, earmarks setting aside federal funds for religious organizations, including Christian groups openly focused on conversions and missionary work, are on the rise in the appropriations bills in both the U.S. House and Senate. According to analysis from Roll Call, which reviewed the contents of appropriations bills in the 2008 fiscal year, scores of religious organizations across the country are being singled out, from earmarks for local Catholic charities, USA organizations, to funding for research programs at private universities, to faith-based drug treatment and jobs programs. The Getchkis getting all your money. Although the paper points out that the bulk of the money for such groups is specifically funneled to secular projects, some of the funds are targeted at organizations whose primary mission is evangelical. The uptick in such earmarks has some activist organizations, such as the Americans United for Separation of Church and State, concerned about a perceived increase in the blurring of the lines between religion and government. The Founding Fathers are spinning in their graves. They're probably spinning the dreidel now. It's getting close to that time. The trend of earmarking federal funding for faith-based organizations is a real problem, Dana Scheer, the group's state legislative counsel, told Roll Call. Under the Constitution, government funding cannot be used to endorse religion, it cannot be used for religious activities, and it cannot be used to construct buildings for religious purposes. Don't you Getchkis understand it, or what? I love that word, by the way, Getchki. It's perfect. And, of course, it covers, it doesn't single out anybody. It covers anybody. It's a religious nut.
Yes.
Other watchdog organizations are also critical of the practice, citing what they believe are inherent dangers in Congress handpicking faith-based causes it deems worthy of funding. Earmarks are about picking winners and losers, and it gets more touchy when religion comes into it. Steve Ellis, the vice president for programs of the group Taxpayers for Common Sense, said that starts raising red flags. One earmark proposed by Senator David Vitter, Republican of Louisiana, he's the guy that was screwing all the hookers, consisted of a $100,000 provision to fund a science education program by the Louisiana Family Forum, according to Roll Call. The LFFF has long opposed the teaching of evolution-only science curricula in state schools, and the grant would have gone toward a project to encourage schools to teach creationist theories of development as well. Another one of these good right-wing hypocrites, David Vitter. Oh, God, that's good. He's into that good old God stuff. Vitter later vowed to pressure from the ACLU and others removing that specific earmark. Americans United for the Separation of Church and State also highlights government funding from the Christian ministry World Impact, Inc., which received $2 million in earmarked money this year from California, Kansas, and Missouri members of the House and Senate. On its website, World Impact describes itself as a Christian missions organization dedicated to ministering God's love in the inner cities of America. Its purpose is to honor and glorify God and delight in Him in the inner cities by knowing God and making Him known. The group also provides tutoring, vocational training, and drug treatment programs.
And talking to reporters once again, he reiterated his call for the Senate to move forward on the nomination of his
his Nazi Attorney General nominee. 963 on the poll. This hour we go over 1,000, and then after that it's all gravy, man. It's big, good gravy. I do like gravy, especially on my meatloaf. Now, meatloaf's good, especially if they don't put any... You know the worst thing they do with meatballs and meatloaf is they put breadcrumbs some places in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's better to make your own. Because the breadcrumbs, that's where you get your carbs. That's bad. Those killer carbs, baby. Let me tell you right now what's going to kill you, and that's bread, pasta, any starch, potatoes, stuff like that, rice, riso. How do the Chinese get away with it? Because you don't see a whole lot of fat Chinese.
Because they don't eat like we do.
Meaning what?
Meaning like they don't eat, 4 times a day. Like,
how do you know?
Because I remember that little exchange student that George had. He told me that,
First of all, she was from Japan, not China.
Well, okay. Asian people don't eat as much.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing that she said. I can't believe you guys always eat.
The Chinese eat all that rice.
Yeah.
It must be in their metabolism. It must be a hereditary thing. Because they've been eating rice for 80 million years, the Chinese. You think?
Although they could turn into sumos if
they really pushed it.
Yeah, where do those people come from besides Japan? If you go to Hawaii, you see some beautiful people in Hawaii, many of them, lots of them, but you also see some real porkers, like that, with that sumo kind of like,
right.
They're just fat. Really fat. Big and disgustingly fat. Fat's not where it's at. Take it from me. I know I've been fat for a long time, and fat is not where it's at. And now that I've had these 3 days, now I think I deserve some kind of like special medal or something for my birthday from Monday. So what am I going to be getting from the station, you think, on Monday in honor of my birthday? Am I going to be getting like a card? Why do you see you're laughing? And rightfully so, because I'm not going to be getting anything.
Right. I've been on the show before. You won't be getting anything from the station.
Well, isn't that nice?
Maybe Josh will come in and say happy birthday.
Especially after 10 years of this, working with these conditions, with these people. Thank God the last 6 of them mostly have been here and not there, not in that place. In that studio with all the stuff falling apart with the mic switch. Here we are all these years later and the mic switch still doesn't work half of the time. One day I'm sitting here a couple of weeks ago and I heard George mumbling, he's singing or whatever. And because they didn't know the mic switch was still on. Because it's like everything else in the overhead. All of these things. They just don't care.
Fix It told me that he fixed it.
Yeah, well, maybe he did fix it, Or maybe that explains it because anything he touched turns to crap immediately. Elmer, an engineer. I take that back. I'm a better engineer. You notice how I've maintained all my good stuff here nicely all 6 years?
Yeah, why is that?
Because nobody else is in here potchking around with it. That's why. Nobody else is in here diddling with it, especially on the weekend like we have. As you well know, every Monday morning is nightmare time on the Neil Rogers Show in our studio down there because over the weekend all little babies are in there playing, we got a ball game on here. We're going to put it out of this studio. And so they're potchking around. All the settings are like screwed up. All the pots are twisted inside out. You know that. Every single Monday, and they won't do anything about it because it's Clarence and his boyfriends. That has to do with the important stuff, with sports, with games like the UM game against North Carolina State. Is NC State any good, by the way?
Yes, they are.
Are they? Wouldn't that be a bummer if UM lost another game? That would be, 3 or 4?
That would be 4.
4 losses in one season? No, I think that would be the end of the program.
Oh, well, they got at least 2 more losses coming.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's the best news I could hear. If FSU didn't stink the place out so bad, they would have had that game, too, last week.
You're going to like this fax coming.
What?
You're going to like this fax coming.
Oh, another hate fax?
Well, since we're doing religion.
Good.
Jesus was seen in hot chocolate.
All right.
Coming at you.
11:13 at 560 WQAM.
Friday, you bastard.
Out on our first date after eating at a Mexican cafe. While we were driving in my car, she let one go that almost blew us both away. I asked her, did you cut the cheese? Then she turned around to look at me and said, girls don't fart. Girls don't fart. She kept on telling me that girls don't fart, but I do. The odor permeated through my clothes and in my hair, and so I rolled the windows down so I could get some air. It smelled like something died in there. Girls don't fart. Girls don't fart. She kept on telling me that girls don't fart, but I do. I heard another deadly squirt. Then I held my nose and covered it with my shirt. I turned around to get her back, with just a matter of time before another attack. So I asked if she was okay. Then she looked at me, and all she had to say was, girls don't fart. Girls don't fart. She kept on telling me that girls don't fart, but I do. Oi! Girls don't fart. Girls don't fart. She kept on telling me that girls don't fart, but I do. But I do. But I do.
Oh, no! I forgot all about that there at the ass end.
Hey.
What, did you dump it?
I did not.
Well, why not? Oh, that wasn't a fart. That was just a raspberry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because girls don't fart.
But I do.
Yeah, me too. I bet you Chris farts a lot.
Of course.
And you know who farts a lot is
Who?
Jolly Joe Bell. Anybody that fat with a big fat ass? He's farting up a storm probably right now. 998 on the poll. I'm not going to read all those, all that fairy tale stuff. Rastafarian's still on top. You're right, this is a sensational story, and it fits right in with the poll
Isn't
today,
it
with
great?
the topic and the whole deal. Perfect.
The last line, of course, was my favorite.
In Columbia, this is Columbia, South Carolina, or is that Columbia, the country?
I'm going with the country.
Yeah, I would think so. They got a lot of Getchkis down
Yeah.
there. In Colombia, the image of Jesus has been seen on the side of a mug of hot chocolate. Specifically, the face appeared on the side of the mug in a pattern of drips. Because this month is the month before Christmas, the Catholic Church is investigating the appearance. Jesus on a coffee mug, baby. They saw the mug of Jesus. In the meantime, a shrine has been set up for visitors to view the cup in the kitchen where it was discovered. Oh, this is definitely in the country of Colombia.
Wow.
This isn't the first nor probably the last time that religious icons have been found in food. The owner of the mug claims to have mixed the Nestle Quick brand of instant hot chocolate with a spoon. She then placed it onto the kitchen burner where she burnt her finger the day before. She states that she damned the burner and then felt remorse that she used the Lord's name in vain. It's for these events she believes that the Jesus image appeared. The owner of the mug will be listing the mug on eBay. All right. Peddle your mug on eBay, baby. Wow. I bet you. Let me refresh it. Yeah, we got 1,002 votes. Chris wasn't even on top of that.
I was just surprised at that story, yeah. I missed it.
What, about the mug of Jesus?
Yeah, that's
Colombia?
just, come on.
Well, maybe they were on drugs. There's a little bit of that drug action in Colombia. Not a lot, you understand. Just a little bit.
Make sure she gives 10% of her profits from eBay to the church.
That's right. Be sure and tide your eBay earnings from the mug to the church, sweetheart. They needed to pay off all them child molesting priest lawsuits. They needed all the cash they can get. Speaking of cash, here's another good crook. A campaign contributor who once wined and dined former Representative Catherine Harris agreed Wednesday to pay a $1 million fine, the second largest in the Federal Election Commission's 32-year history, for breaking campaign laws by funneling corporate contributions to Catherine Harris and another member of Congress. What a bitch. By the way, how's her plane doing? It's still flopping around up there? The fine came as defense contractor Mitchell Wade reached a settlement with the FEC, acknowledging that he used $78,000 in corporate funds to reimburse employees and their spouses for contributing to Harris, a Sarasota Republican who lost the 2006 race for U.S. Senate, and Representative Virgil Good, Republican of Virginia. The same Catherine Harris, by the way, who helped fat-ass Jeb Bush fix the 2000 election for his brother in Florida. Wade had previously pled guilty in U.S. District Court to illegally steering the money to the two lawmakers in hopes of securing lucrative contracts for his company, MZM. Commission Chairman Robert Leonard said the historic size of the fine shows there are serious consequences for those who knowingly and willfully try to funnel illegal contributions into the FEC campaign. I'm tongue-tied. Must be that Jesus on the coffee mug just put me over the edge. If it's not the Virgin Mary on a Totino's pizza, and which, by the way, they're having that recall on Totino's. Maybe that's because of the Virgin Mary. We'll get to that story. You got any of that crap in your freezer? Throw it out. When in doubt, throw it out. The commission said it found no evidence that Harris or Good knew the contributions from MZM employees were illegal, and that both campaign committees had either refunded or disgorged all MZM-related contributions. Disgorge. If you watch Hostel 2, there's a lot of disgorging that goes on in the movie. Gross. I don't mind the gross part, but at least if it had a story, if it was like scintillating, if it was something, It was just blood and guts. Neither Harris nor Good could be reached for comment Wednesday night. Former MZM employee Richard Berglund also agreed to pay $42,000, a fine for accepting money from Wade to make donations in his and his wife's name and reimbursing other employees for their contributions. Wade pleaded guilty in February 2006 to bribing former Representative Randy Duke Cunningham of California and steering contributions to Harris and Good in hopes of landing federal contracts. Since 2002, federal records showed the owners and employees of two Wade-related companies, including MZM, pumped $51,000 into Harris's political campaign. Her campaign has said all the money has since been given to charity. Well, ain't that grand? Ain't that sweet? Good old Catherine Harris, baby. Anybody who supports her has got to be a crook. Although I bet you we got people in our building who probably love Catherine Harris. Anybody who's a right-wing bitch, or just to the right of Hitler, they love it. I'm just telling you, we got some of them people around. Because it's a sports place, And if you're going to be an athlete, you don't want to be no commie, pinko, bedwetting liberal. You want to put on this act that you're like a real right-wing, staunch Nazi bastard. Now, you got to do that to keep that macho image going.
Kurt Schilling style.
That's right. 10:05 on the survey, man. The Seventh-day Adventist, boy, they're not selling enough of that sausage. Like, they're in last place with only 3 votes. Not good.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Oh, my God. The pub smokes dope.
Yes.
The pub smokes dope. God gave him the grass. The pub smokes dope. Oh. He likes to smoke in mass. The pub smokes dope. He's a groovy head. The pub smokes dope. The pub smokes dope. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. God is higher masculine. Satan higher fact. Hopes in Rome get thrown on grass. Jesus breaks our back. Jesus Christ is super hippie, never shut up junk. Popes in Rome get thrown alone. Jews in church get drunk. The Pope smokes dope. God give him the grass. The Pope smokes dope. He likes his fucking ass. The Pope smokes dope. He's a groovy head. The Pope smokes dope. The Pope smokes dope. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jill forgot to take a pill, now she's got a daughter. Taking pills is not a joke for a groovy pope. Birth control can be a took of marijuana smoke. The Pope smokes dope. God gave him the grass. The Pope smokes dope. He likes his fucking ass. The Pope smokes dope. He's a groovy head. The Pope smokes dope. The Pope smokes dope. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. The Pope is getting higher. 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 The Pope smokes dope. God gave him the grass. The Pope smokes dope. He likes his fucking ass. The Pope smokes dope. He's a groovy head. The Pope smokes dope. The Pope smokes dope. The Pope smokes dope. The Pope smokes dope.
That's it.
A lot of dope in the Vatican, baby. That's why they're all chasing around them altar boys. 11:32, maybe that's one of the reasons. 28 till noon at 560 WQAM. We got Mad Dog at 2, the Humper with the Power Hour at 4, and then Humper all by himself. And then after that, go out and have a good time this weekend. That's all I can tell you. Wow. And look at how much ESPN radio we've got on Saturday. Tomorrow we got 7 to 10 p.m. We've got the JFSR Handicapping Show, 10 o'clock. I have no idea what that is. Do you know what that is? The JFSR Handicapping Show?
Handicapping show. No idea what JFSR is, obviously.
JFSR, my ass.
Maybe that's like the big tuna.
Radio. Oh, yeah, the tuna. Not the big tuna, the tuna. I got news for you, man. If ever there was mercury poisoning in the tuna, it's on this with Clarence. What an idiot. Mort Keyshawn and Tuna Bill Parcells. Oh, brother. It's just... the pain is so great. Then Sunday, we got ESPN Radio in the morning early. And then we got TBD 9 to 1. Sunday, we got TBD. Because we got no Dolphin game.
That's my favorite show, the TBD.
Yeah. Then 1 to 7, we got the NFL on ESPN Radio. And QM Primetime at Goldfinger at 7 o'clock Sunday. And then 9 till 5 in the morning Monday, it's ESPN. 8 hours of dead air.
I think Zach is doing some of those TBD.
Meaning what?
I want to say he's on like 11 to 1 or something like that.
He's on doing what? Doing a show?
Yeah.
Oh. The Seventh-day Adventist Church is a Protestant Christian denomination which is distinguished mainly by its observance of Saturday, the seventh day of the week, as the Sabbath, Shabbos, stole it from the Jews. The denomination grew out of the Millerite movement in the U.S. during the middle part of the 19th century. It was formally established in 1863. Among its founders was Ellen G. White, whose extensive writings are still held in high regard by the church today. Much of the theology of the Seventh-day Adventist Church corresponds to key evangelical teachings such as the Trinity and the infallibility of Scripture. Distinctive teachings include the unconscious state of the dead and the doctrine of an investigative judgment. What? The church is also known for its emphasis on diet and health. See, there we go. For its promotion of religious liberty and for its culturally conservative principles. The World Church is governed by a general conference with smaller regions administered by divisions, union conferences, and local, and it goes on for 100 pages. But then we get to this stuff about a position statement on the vegetarian diet adapted from the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Nutrition Council. For more than 130 years, Seventh-day Adventists have practiced a vegetarian dietary lifestyle because of their belief in the holistic nature of humankind. Whatever is done in eating or drinking should honor and glorify God and preserve the health of the body, mind, and spirit.
Hail God!
The recommended lacto-ovo vegetarian diet, lacto-ovo, includes the generous use of whole grain breads will send your blood sugar soaring, cereals and pastas which will send your blood sugar into stroke levels, a liberal use of fresh vegetables and fruits, a moderate use of legumes, nuts, seeds, and low-fat dairy products such as milk, yogurt, and cheeses. Egg yolks should be used in moderation. It's best to avoid high saturated fat and cholesterol foods such as beef, lamb, pork, chicken, fish, and seafood. All the good stuff, that's all Atkins approved. That will help you lose weight and get your blood lipids down to a safe level so you won't croak from a stroke. Coffee, tea, and alcoholic beverages provide few nutrients and may interfere with the absorption of essential nutrients. Since 1954, more than 250 articles have been published in scientific journals on Seventh-day Adventist lifestyle and health. In 1960s, Loma Linda University, in cooperation with the National Cancer Institute, began to study the health of SDAs and yada, yada, yada. In general, SDAs, Seventh-day Adventists, have 50% less risk of heart disease, certain types of cancer, strokes, and diabetes. More specifically, recent data suggests that the vegetarian men under 40 can expect to live more than 8 years longer and women more than 7 years longer than the general population. SDA vegetarian men live more than 3 years longer than SDA men who eat meat. Right. And that Loma Linda, I think that's the brand. They call it Loma Linda, whatever. Burgers and sausages and breakfast sausages, all of these
all of these things.
Now, explain how you said it has no taste, but it's good.
That was a joke.
Oh, okay, good. I was wondering.
God, are you stupid or what? Delicious, but no taste.
Exactly.
The late Bill Calder used to use that line all the time. Delicious, but no taste. In other words, it sucks. Kind of like the food at the Cheesecake Factory. Delicious, but no taste. Industrial strength, Josh. It sucked.
I had a decent meal when I was there.
Well, good luck to you. I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I had a bad experience. Now, what about that other place in there? What's it called, the other one? The Grand Lux Cafe? That's owned by the same people?
Oh, I don't know. Are you talking about in Sawgrass? I think there's a Rainforest Cafe.
No, the Grand Lux Cafe. It's owned by the same people as the ones who put that Cheesecake Factory crap out. Because next time I come down there, I don't want to have a bad meal. I don't want to get suckered into another bad meal like this last time. I don't want to knock my good friend the professor because he's in the process of sending me a birthday gift of some kind. Card would be fine. That would be enough.
I got to tell you, there's no excuse that you have a bad meal.
What does that mean?
Meaning, like, you know, you're the kind of guy, like, just any given night, like, you could hit up the Ruth's Chris. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to go to Ruth's Chris when I'm there. I can go to Ruth's Chris here, and the one here is much better than the ones there. I shouldn't say that probably, but I'm just telling you it is. There's a Ruth Chris in the Hilton Hotel here downtown that is so good that it's just beyond belief. The menu selection is better. The food it's just great. So I can go to there any time. Why do I want to go to a place I can go any day when I'm in South Florida with all those fabulous eating places, huh?
Well, I hate to tell you, but Cheesecake Factory is pretty common.
It's pretty what?
It's pretty common.
Not here. Thank God we got that here. Oh, Finding God in Food. Good. Whoever sent the other one has sent this follow-up. Excellent. The top food stories of 2006. Finding God in Food. Jesus, the Virgin Mary. Oh, yeah. The miracle tortilla. I love it. And of course, don't forget about the Virgin Mary on the underpass there in Chicago. Remember that?
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
That is. They were stopping. They were coming. It was like a tourist attraction now. With all the good stuff there is to see in Chicago, why would you go to the underpass to see the stained image of the Virgin Mary on the underpass? Oh, people are crazy, man. What are they looking for? What in God's name, if you pardon the expression, are they looking for with all these fairy tales? God. Overgrown children who call themselves adults, who've got the intellectual level of a 2-year-old.
Oh, I saw the Virgin Mary on the side of that bank building in St. Peter there in Clearwater. It was in Clearwater.
Yeah, we believe you. Oh, the Dow is down another 101 points, and the S&P is down, too, for that jackass that kept calling. The S&P is down, baby, down. Here comes the bunny, and there goes your money.
biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Hey, yo, man, what's up with your fakakta mishpucha?
There was an old farmer who lived on a rock. He sat in the meadow just shaking his fist at some boys who were down by the creek. Their feet in the water, their hands on their marbles and playthings, and at 4:30, there came a young lady. She looked like a pretty young creature. She sat on the grass. She pulled up her dress and she showed them her ruffles and laces and white fluffy duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children so they would not spit, while the boys in the barnyard were shoveling refuse and litter from yesterday's hunt, while the girl in the meadow was rubbing her eyes at the fellow down by the dock. He looked like a man with a sizable home in the country with a big fence out front. If he asked her politely, she'd show him her little pet dog who was subject to fits, and maybe she'd let him grab hold of her small tender hands with a movement so quick, and then she'd bend over and suck on his candy so tasty made of butterscotch, and then he spread whipped cream all over her cookies that she had left out on her shelf. If you think this is dirty, you can go yourself.
All right. 11:45 at 560 WQAM. Here's that story, the top food stories of 2006, Finding God in Food. It's that time of the year, the time to look back on the stories that made 2006 great. It says, our countdown begins with God, who appeared several times this year in food. Grilled cheese, fish sticks, and cinnamon buns. This may sound like the lunch menu at the local high school, but in fact, these are all food items on which people claim to have found the likeness of God. Surprisingly, God shows up in mysterious ways on a number of food items. Number 1, nun bun. A cinnamon bun that looked like the Mother Teresa was discovered in 1996 and stolen this past Christmas morning from the coffee shop where it was discovered and preserved. Saints and cinnamon are a good combination. 2, Virgin Mary grilled cheese. Sold for $28,000 on eBay, the decades-old sandwich is reputed to have mystical anti-molding powers. Could it be that a combination of artificial cheese and Wonder Bread had something to do with it? I wonder. Who wrote the Book of Love? 3, Jesus in a nacho pan. Evidently, God is all about processed cheese. This time he shows up at the Stadium Club in Jacksonville in the bottom of a pan used to keep nacho cheese warm. 4, Jesus fish stick. A face perhaps, but the image of Jesus appeared in a burnt fish stick is not a religious sign. It's a sign that choking is not your strong suit. 5, miracle tortilla. One of the earliest sightings dating from 1977, this flatbread is said to have the image of Jesus, as well as have been rumored to possess healing powers. A shrine is open for visitors in Lake Arthur, New Mexico, for those who want to see it. The miracle tortilla with the picture of Jesus. And 6, the Allah eggplant. The name of Allah has appeared at least twice, written in both Arabic and Urdu, in slices of eggplant, proving that religion can strike anywhere at any time, not just in mysteriously marked snack foods and flaky pastry. It says if you're feeling left out by all the discoveries, you can put an icon onto your breakfast food with surprising ease. Just don't expect it to sell too well on eBay. Well, you never know. I remember that cheese sandwich, man, that grilled cheese. That thing was bigger than Murray Tyler Moore. It was just gigantic. It was huge.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Everybody was talking about it. On eBay. Just stick it on eBay. There's a sucker born every minute, and they'll go to eBay and they'll buy any kind of crap you got. Oh, I got a picture of Yoshki on my condom, man. The image of Yoshki is on the condom. Oh, look at this. Thank you, Ken. My good friend Ken from Etobicoke has sent me a e-card to wish me happy birthday. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Well, Ken's an old guy in Etobicoke. He can relate to being old, like me.
Is he old and gay?
No, I don't really know whether he's gay, and I don't care whether he's gay. He's an old guy, and, he's a good guy. Big Leaf fan. Sorry about the Leafs, Ken. They suck.
So what he's saying is if he was younger, he would care if he might be gay.
I might. I don't get any birthday greetings from all those hot young guys that I used to like on the, on the MySpace thing. They've all pretty much vanished, disappeared. Like the Serbian Stallion, that crowd, they've all vanished. They've just dropped me, even my buddy Ricky. I don't hear from Ricky.
The Serbian Stallion.
Oh, yeah. Mm-mm. What?
Oh, nothing.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
What's wrong with that, taking a little peek? You know, I mean, these are just...
Do what you got to do, buddy.
That's right, and who knows who these people are anyway, and who cares when you come right down to it. But I try to be, friendly with everybody on there, except, of course, for Al Rogers. Go away, Al, and stop hocking me with your Dennis Kucinich propaganda already, with your 80 million different phony pages. Get lost. Christ. If the law said you had to have a religion, which one would you choose? Rastafarian 214. Buddhist 160. Jewish 158. Catholic 154. Wiccan 100. Wow. 100 Wiccans. Methodist 45, Episcopalian 44, Baptist 31, Santeria 24, Mormon 18, Hindu 16, Shinto 15, Scientologist 15, Muslim 10, Jehovah's Witnesses 8, Christian Scientist 5, Pentecostal 5, and the Seventh-day Adventists with their frozen meatless burgers 3, still only 3. Maybe you can take along a dentist when you go with the Seventh Adventist. And you can gum your vegetarian food. Yeah, that stuff that they make, it's like make-believe burgers and sausage patties and sausage links and stuff like that, but it's meatless. And it's okay. I've had some of it.
Sounds miserable.
Made by Loma Linda Foods. Loma Looney Foods. It sounds bad? It's not bad. You're just one of those one-dimensional people. I mean, it does have a little bit. It's like Boca Burgers, same kind of principle. You ever have Boca Burgers?
I don't know.
That I put on the map many years ago at IOD. Back when I had a big audience and I could talk about Ben & Jerry's fish food or Boca Burgers, and everybody in South Florida would be running out and buying this stuff. Of course, all those people now, they got out. Who the people are inhabiting South Florida now, I have no idea. Like at that hockey game a couple Saturdays ago, that Panthers-Tampa game that I went to at the Mac Arena.
Were you one of the 200?
I was one of the few thousand. There were a few thousand people there, maybe 8 or 10.
I told you about the game that I went to last year, right?
Yeah.
There were no more than 200 people there.
Wow. Kind of like a Marlins game.
Worse.
And rumor has it that there was a recent Panther game, I forget which one it was, that there was a similar number of people there. You could count them easy on your fingers and toes.
Mm-hmm.
A&E has suspended filming of bounty hunter Dwayne Dog Chapman's reality show, Dog the Bounty Hunter, after a tape was released of him using the N-word in a racist rant.
Oh, my God.
Chapman's bigoted remarks were directed at his son's African-American girlfriend and were first revealed at a tabloid's website. On the tape, Chapman can be heard defending the use of the word nigger, in which he contends doesn't always mean you scum nigger without a soul. Well, isn't that charitable of him? Chapman's network released the following statement. A&E has just learned of the story released by the National Enquirer concerning Dwayne Dog Chapman. We'll take this matter very seriously. Pending an investigation, we've suspended production on the series. When the inquiry is concluded, we'll take appropriate action. And it's got a video here from NBC's Morning Joe and CNN's American Morning, broadcast November 1. Sounds like yesterday to me. And here's the transcript. Should I read it?
Yeah, read it.
This is John Roberts. Says Dwayne Dog Chapman's apologizing after caught on tape in a racist rant. National Enquirer has 2 recorded phone conversations from him. In it, his son's girlfriend is the target. Take a listen. Roberts, oops, is all you can say about that. Well, we didn't get to hear it. It doesn't give you the transcript of that. Oops is all you can say about that. This morning, Chapman released a statement. A&E announced it's suspending production of his show until the investigation is complete. We're joined by Roy Innes, the chairman of the Congress of Racial Equality. How were you struck when you first heard this tape? Innes says, shocked, of course. These things always shock you, but I don't lose focus of the fact they represent a very small minority of the American people. Roberts, small minority, but a huge megaphone. Innes, they have a megaphone. What we should be concerned about is we could not extend the size of the megaphone by our reaction to it. I'm glad that he's apologized, at least partially. He still slimed the young lady. He slimed her. My understanding is she's a fine young lady, contrary to what he's saying. As if that has anything to do with this. Roberts, what I found interesting is saying we sometimes use the N-word around here. I don't know what company he was talking about, but freely bandied about. If you don't have hate in here now, how does it ever come out of there? Ennis, that's why, although the company suspended the show, which is a good move, he has apologized partially. That's a good move. He has yet to make another step, one final step, and that is to examine himself. He needs to come to core. I'll talk to him. Roberts, he needs to purge himself. Ennis, he needs to purge himself. Roberts, how do you do that? You confront him with his ideas, his gut ideas in reference to race relations, Ennis says. Roberts, of course, we've seen this a few times in the past. First of all, it started with Michael Richards, who played Kramer on Seinfeld. Ennis, he plays a bounty hunter, a law that should be examined first of all. Since he's in that role, he needs to be more sane in terms of race relations than he is. He's kind of a role model. Roberts, he's on the Arts and Entertainment Network as well. It's not some sort of obscure cable channel stuck up there in the 500s. Ennis, I've seen very few of the episodes, but those that I have seen, he attempts to be the real good Mr. Good Guy, helping people out and all that. How can these two things, they don't mesh? Good guys don't use the N-word, baby. That's the bottom line to all this. Good guys don't use the N-word. You think a little overreaction there, perhaps? Everybody is so politically correct now, man. Everybody's all uptight. Imus, by the way, is coming back December 3rd. I just thought I would mention that. Maybe he'll say nappy-headed hose again, but I doubt it. What do you think?
Great.
Now, what are you eating now? Not Howie's?
No, Brad's today.
Oh, Brad from Tony's is in today. I bet you're eating some Pappy Rooney pizza. I sure hope it's not that frozen Totino stuff.
No, it's not.
Got a pizza and I got a sub here.
Because Brad wouldn't bring you any crap like that. He'd bring you the fresh, good stuff from Tony's on 441 and 192nd Street. Since we're doing numbers, we got 1032 on the poll. What a memory I got, huh?
Yep.
I remember how good that food was. It was really outstanding. And one good thing about Brad over there at Tony's, he doesn't use any of that prefabricated, 800-gallon sauce in a can, like a lot of places do. He doesn't use any slop. And you can taste the difference, boy. That's a good place. So what do you got? You got pizza and what else?
I got a grilled chicken sub.
And what's Mr. Fat plowing into now?
I'm not eating anything at the exact moment.
No, I don't mean at the exact moment.
Oh, well, I'm going to have a
don't
slice
give
of
me
pizza.
crap like that.
I'll have a slice of pizza.
You're eating the crust?
Maybe.
You're going to die. Let me tell you right now. I hate to say it. You're a good guy, but you're going to die.
Are we
Is there
all?
any question, Josh? Is he going to die?
Aren't we all?
Well, that's the point. Oh, there's Dog the Bounty Hunter suspended.
Using the N-word in a rant about his son's African-American girlfriend, Chapman says he was set up. Look, when you are not watching us here in the newsroom, here's what we would love for you to do. Go to CNN.com. In fact, why don't you just
That Tony Harris, I'm serious. If I had a shotgun, I would go to CNN Atlanta, and I'm right on the air. I would take him out. How can they put him on the air? Although, there are just a lot of people on the air don't belong on the air. And, of course, many of them are right here on QAM. Many of them used to wear Josh bands, even in bed.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Kids, why should any Republican care about them? Kids, take a pillow and smother them till they're dead. Kids, want the government to give them all a free ride. Whining, crying, sick and dying. Grow up, get a job and buy insurance. Kids are what righteous Republicans leave behind. Kids, on behalf of compassionate homicide, we're dead against abortion. Pro-life just like Christ. Oh, once they're born, then they can die. Kids don't have lobbyists asking to vote their way. Kids mean less than free hookers and Chardonnay. Grow up and be like we are, sadistic, self-hating gays. Who gives a crap about kids today?
Combo 1 at 560 WQAM. I bet your Father O'Toole still gives a crap about kids. I'm looking at that neat e-card that I got, the birthday card from Ken and Tobago. That's the one. That's the one I got.
Cool.
Well, that's because I sent him my email address. Because I guess you can't send those on MySpace or something like that. I don't know. I could have gotten like 80 million birthday, but they're waiting until Monday, man. There's going to be an outpouring of emotion on Monday, the likes of what you've never seen. You believe it?
A flood of emotion.
No. How about the mail? Have they been bringing in like bags full of birthday cards?
Yeah, I'll start faxing stuff to you.
Well, they don't want to do it now on November 2.
That's right. It's too early, man.
3 days ahead of time. They don't want to do that. You wait till Monday, man. It's a good thing George is going to be back. Because Josh wouldn't want to have to put up with a tremendous amount of crap.
It would just be overwhelming.
I would think so. Every year, when I was down there, there'd be like one or two. And always one idiot that would send me, in Jesus' name, best wishes for you, one
Love
of those
it.
Getchkis. Yeah.
You know what? That's what, if you want a little commotion for your birthday, come on down and do the show from here.
No. I was just there a couple of weeks ago. What do I want to come back for?
Yeah, but you didn't come into the wonderful building.
And you know what? And I never will. It will never, ever happen again.
Ever?
You know that song by the Beatles, You Won't See Me? Trust me.
I don't.
You don't?
No.
You Won't See Me. You don't know that song?
I don't like the Beatles, sir. I know that. I know.
Chris, you know the song, don't you?
Actually, I can't. I mean, I have no problem with the Beatles, but I don't know that song offhand now.
Oh, such a sad world. I'm going to go out and sit in the pigeon droppings on my patio and just cry like a baby. Buzz Flash GOP Hypocrite of the Week. Richard Curtis, I can't imagine why. Hey, Dick.
You fairy.
We have some advice for the macho posturing Republican males. If you don't want people to think you're gay, a cross-dresser, adulterer, transsexual, or a child molester, you better become a Democrat or independent. Because at the fast pace of sexual perversity being exposed among elected Republican officials, almost all of whom are invariably publicly and sanctimoniously opposed to gays and adultery, it's kind of de facto questionable whether any white GOP male who claims to be for family values is not a pervert. By now you've probably read about the latest unfolding farcical chapter in the ongoing epidemic of GOP sexual perversity. Yes, a now-resigned state representative from Washington State got himself in a cross-dressing, fellatio male sex for a hire tight spot the other day in Spokane, where not too long ago the Republican mayor was uncovered as a sexual harasser of his male employees. Our mind is dizzy with recent tales of right-wing debauchery. While Curtis has indeed taken it to a new level of tabloid sensation, the pattern is the same: repression and hypocrisy. As an article in the Oregonian noted, however, the one bit of importance to this story has almost been lost in all the sex talk. Like in so many of these other cases, Curtis has an anti-gay rights voting record. He voted against domestic partnerships for gays and opposed a bill prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation. So he may not have a powerful office as has Larry Craig. He wasn't a prominent church leader, and he sure as heck didn't help bring down the Republican leadership in Congress, as did Mark Foley. But in the public mind, Curtis further tarnishes the case that conservatives make against legislation promoting equality for gays. Curtis's case is so lurid and detailed in its tawdriness that it both titillates and repels. After receiving oral sex in a porn shop while dressed as a woman, Curtis woke up in a swanky Spokane hotel after a night doing the nasty with a young man named Stallion. I wonder if he was the Serbian Stallion.
That's right.
But the key feature of it, as has been for the endless succession of repressed sexual white males who lead the GOP, is his gross hypocrisy. These people are deeply troubled and in need of serious psychiatric intervention. In the meantime, they continue to defraud America with their advocacy of discriminatory laws and attitudes that are aimed right at themselves. Until next week, remember our motto: so many Republican hypocrites, so little time. It's the first Hypocrite of the Week award to Richard Curtis, by the way. Welcome to the club, Dick. And I'm sure won't be the last Republican on there, or whatever they are.
Definitely not.
All these sanctimonious right-wingers, oh, the Lord said it's an abomination in the eyes of the Lord, blah, blah, blah. And in the meantime, they're doing it. Every single one. I've never encountered one of them that, first of all, wasn't crazy as a bedbug, and secondly, wasn't a closet case. But nevertheless.
That's why it's the gay old party.
That's correct. 1040 on the poll. I think 1040 was KXEL in Waterloo, Iowa. I could be wrong, but I don't care. I always think back in the days of those great 50,000-watt Clear Channel, and we don't mean Clear Channel, a company. We mean they used to call them Clear Channel because there was nothing else on the frequency for like a zillion miles. So you could hear them all over the country, like WABC and KDKA and KMOX, like that, you know. WHAM in Rochester, a really bad station. WOWO in Fort Wayne, Indiana, 1190 on your dial. Whoa. Oh,
I was thinking woo-woo.
No, that's Arnie Woo-Woo Ginsburg on WMEX, a not very powerful station in Boston. Arnie Ginsburg. Boy, I tell you, those were the days. Adventure car hop in Saugus, Massachusetts, right on the way on US 1 to Salem, New Hampshire with Rockingham Park. So many an evening I'd hop in my little Corvair with one of our Boston friends, and we would head on up Highway 1 and make us pit stop at Adventure Car Hop in Saugus and get a whole bunch of really good stuff and then drive up to the track and lose whatever money I had. Not much in those days, but nevertheless. Rockingham Park, Tug Boyd, Bucky Day, Bobby Huntress. What a memory I got for meaningless crap.
Yep.
Hey, just because you're not a harness racing aficionado, you don't know your stuff. I mean, there's so much that they don't know in South Florida. And that's one of them.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
No. Well, why do you say that?
Because I want nothing to do with horse racing.
Why not?
I might rather watch soccer.
Oh.
I think I would rather watch soccer.
The Humper's going to come in there and kick your ass. He's going to take his last breath right in your presence and fall on you. I wouldn't want to be there when he fell on me. Would you?
Nah.
The Thumper. Anyway, here's what we got. Rastafarian 219. I'm not going to read all of these, just the top few. If the law said you had to have a religion, which one would you choose? Most people, unfortunately, because they don't want to think for themselves, or because they figure it's all a bunch of bullcrap anyway, so we just pick whatever we were born into, you know? The luck of the draw. Rastafarian 219, Buddhist 162, Jewish 159, Catholic 157. Still a great three-way battle there between the Buddhists, the Jews, and the Catholics. I wonder what the Dalai Lama thinks about that. Oh, there's Swillery.
These are big, complex issues, and I think...
Yeah, right. Wiccan 101, and after that it's small potatoes. After that, not too many people want to be any of that stuff. I don't blame you, by the way. Doug Thompson is still alive. That's the good news for a Friday. Oh! Attaboy, Dougie, you keep plugging away. He says another name for mercenary is murderer. Doug Thompson, Capitol Hill Blue, George's favorite website that he used to hate like poison for some reason, and I've talked him into it. Doug says Eric Prince, owner of the Shoot First and Make Excuses Later group of mercenaries called Blackwater Worldwide, formerly known as Blackwater USA, claims calling his collection of hired killers mercenaries is a slanderous term. I don't know if it's possible to slander a slimeball like Eric Prince, a soldier of fortune who builds his empire with his daddy's money. Prince is just another killer for hire. Boy, don't you hate those guys who build an empire with daddy's money, Joel? Yep. He's also dumb as a stump when it comes to American history. As Evan Thomas and Mark Hosenball report in Newsweek, Eric Prince likes to point out that in Lafayette Park across from the White House stand the statues of 4 military officers who helped whip the ragtag Continental Army into shape to defeat the British in the Revolutionary War. Prince can quote the inscription under the statue of General Wilhelm von Steuben, who trained George Washington's troops at Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. He gave military training and discipline to the citizen soldiers who achieved the independence of the U.S. The private soldiers employed by Prince's company, Blackwater USA, to protect American officials in Iraq are in a noble tradition, Prince tells Newsweek. Indeed, at Blackwater, Lafayette Park is jokingly called Contractor Park. But don't call the Blackwater men mercenaries. That's a slanderous term used by Blackwater's detractors, an inflammatory word they use to malign us, says Prince. Mercenaries, he says, are professional soldiers who work for a foreign government. Blackwater's men are Americans working for the American government. Never mind that von Steuben was a Prussian, and the other 3 statues of the Marquis de Lafayette, Comte de Rochambeau, whatever that is, some frog, and Thaddeus Kosciuszko honor 2 Frenchmen and a Pole. Butchered the last 2 names, and guess what? I don't care. But dumb or not, Prince is more than just another right-wing kook, says Doug Thompson, with lots of guns and a no-bid government contract to kill at will. Jeremy Scahill, author of the book Blackwater, The Rise of the World's Most Powerful Mercenary Army, told Newsweek that Prince is a neo-crusader, a theocon, with a Christian supremacist agenda. Which means Prince is right in with the madmen of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, George W. Bush, the deranged president who sees the invasion of Iraq and massacre of thousands upon thousands of that country's civilians as a mandate from God. Prince's private army of professional killers operates without rules, without boundaries, and with the full blessing of the Bush administration. And still their tactics shock and scare even those they're hired to protect. As Newsweek also reports, some American diplomats and not a few professional soldiers in the U.S. military look askance at the heavy-handed swagger of the Blackwater Guards, who often sport goatees and tattoos, wear wraparound shades, brandish their weapons, and have been known to run anyone off the road who gets in their way. One State Department official who spoke anonymously so as not to offend any Guardians tells Newsweek it was 1 step forward in a meeting with Iraqis and 2 steps back as cars were getting bumped off the road on the ride home. Prince says it's a slander to call his operatives mercenaries. If anything, calling them mercenaries is too kind. Blackwater operatives are murderers, thugs, and goons, just the kind of people we would expect to work for and support the likes of George W. Bush. Prince is a neo-crusader, a theocon with a Christian supremacist agenda. All right. So does that come as any surprise, you know? Because one thing through the centuries that those good Christians have loved to do, you know what it is?
What's that? Kill some people.
Yeah. Attaboy, Mo. Mo should know. Well, of course, all the religions, but the Crusades, the good Catholics back in the Spanish Inquisition, all of these things.
Good Catholic.
I beg your pardon?
I said, that's me, a good Catholic.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go out and kill some people. For Jesus.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
It's what Bob Dylan fans have been waiting for. A brand new Bob Dylan CD. Dylan, live from the Holy Land. chock full of songs never before recorded by Bob Dylan. Songs sure to become Dylan classics, like Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound.
And from Jesus Christ Superstar, I Don't Know How to Love Him.
I don't know how to love him.
And Kumbaya.
Kumbaya, kumbaya, kumbaya.
If you're a devout classic rock fan, you've got to get Dylan live from the Holy Land. And if you buy Bob's CD now, you get a special Bob Dylan Christmas Carol CD absolutely free, featuring songs like We Three Kings.
We three kings of Orient are.
Away in a Manger.
Hey, way in a manger.
Plus, hark, the Herald Angels sing.
Hark, the Herald Angels sing.
So for heaven's sake, go out and pick up Dylan live from the Holy Land today.
You know, up until this moment, because I don't really pay much attention to it, I never really thought about how stupid all those songs are, you know. Hark, the Herald Angels sing. Well, what does that mean? Glory to the newborn king. Well, what is that all about? I mean, I know what it's about, but it's just so freaking pathetic. And you get your kids to sing all these stupid things every year, and it's like, they don't know what the hell they're talking. It's like going to shul, you know, and they're talking in Hebrew, and nobody has any idea what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, the human brain is an amazing thing. When are a whole bunch of people going to start using it? Here's a fax it says from a friend. See, that to me it puts me off. How come if you're a friend, don't you have like a name? You could make one up.
Bill?
John, Tom, Sally. How about
Roy?
You know, anything would be all right. But just as from a friend. I have a collection of American documents. Many are writings of the Founding Fathers. Thomas Jefferson wrote on religion, in which he said, "It does me no injury for my neighbor to say there are 20 gods or no God. It neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg." The print in this book is very small, or I would send you the whole page. Well, thank you, friend. Thank you, friend, as Nancy Grace would say. There's another bitch that don't belong on the air, Nancy Grace. Thank you, friend.
Well, the church these days definitely picks the pockets.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. They want your money, sonny. And you don't even have to get up out of your chair, man. Just sit there on your fat ass and turn on one of them 80 million Getski channels, and there's the 800 number at the bottom of the screen. Just send them their money, or a credit card would be good. That would do.
Mm-hmm. To pass the bucket around, to give generously.
Pass the plate and, you know, how's that thing go? Pass the plate and spare the ammunition, or is it the other way around? I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
It's an old saying from before any of us were born. Even me. Boy, that must be really old then.
Wow, that's old.
Armed with signs shouting, "Thank God for dead soldiers," a radical anti-gay U.S. church plans to resume its controversial funeral protest today, despite being ordered to pay $11 million to the family of a fallen soldier offended by their hateful songs and slogans. Kansas-based Westboro Baptist Church hailed Wednesday's jury verdict as yet another chance to spread its message that God is punishing the U.S. for its tolerance of homosexuality. "We will continue to warn you of your impending doom as long as our God gives us breath," church leaders said in the press conference, lined with biblical references and pictures of the signs its members flaunt at funerals. "Not only did you fail to stop our preaching, but our message has gone to the entire world." The fringe group of Fire and Brimstone Baptists from Topeka, Kansas, who are a bunch of crazy people, has been courting controversy for more than 17 years. The church first gained national notoriety when they picketed the funeral of Matthew Shepard, the young Wyoming student who was murdered in 1998 for being gay. They have since picketed the funerals of Frank Sinatra and Bill Clinton's mother, celebrated the terrorist attacks of 9/11 as an act of God's wrath, and even targeted Santa Claus and the Ku Klux Klan. Funded in part by lawsuits against those who try to block the protests and violate a constitutional right to free speech, the church members travel the country on a near-daily basis and have held an estimated 30,000 pickets. Their funeral protests are laced with anti-gay slurs. At one protest attended by AFP, 5 women sang and danced as they held up signs saying, "God hates fags, fag vets, and America is doomed." The group also has a wide repertoire of songs like "This Land is Fagland" and "God Hates America." "This land is Fagland," like that. The group's presence at the funerals of dozens of soldiers across the country has sparked a grassroots movement of bikers determined to drown out the jeers and taunts. While Westboro's congregation remains stable at around 70 to 100 crazy people, most of whom are the extended family of founder Fred Phelps, the craziest of them all, the ranks of the Patriot Guard riders have swelled to more than 117,000 in the past 2 years. Well, come up with some good hate group, man, and there's no limit on the number of people you're going to get, like dragging flies to a Schmidt pile. If the Westboro protesters show up as planned at the funerals of Sergeant Scott Turner in Norton, Kansas, and Staff Sergeant Larry Rugel in West Jordan, Utah today, their signs will be masked by an honor guard of flag-waving bikers. But the father of a soldier awarded $10.9 million on Wednesday after his son Matthew's funeral was picketed last year hopes the verdict he's won will block the protest completely. I basically want to shut them down, said Albert Snyder. I don't expect to collect $10 million, but I do intend to collect everything they have. Westboro insisted it'll win the case on appeal, but Snyder's lawyers said they have a good chance of proving that the constitutional right to free speech has limits. For example, we can't even say, here on the air. We can't even blow gas, blow dirt. The reality is that the First Amendment has survived 200 years without anyone protesting funerals, and I think it's safe to say that if this group is shut down and can't protest funerals, the First Amendment will survive another 200 years, said Sean Summers, Snyder's attorney. You go, boys. You go. Goys. What's our goal on the poll today? About 1,200, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Not that we need to have one. We don't need to be doing that silly crap, but nevertheless, we got 10:55 now. Slow down to a crawl because I haven't been pushing it. 10:56. There's one. As if. I love the way George gets all agitated because he thinks I really care about it. I don't really care. It's something to do, you know. It's something, you know, when you're mailing it in, you got to have something to do. Numbers, baby. All the numbers. We're always on the lookout for a good number. How's Sebastian doing, by the way? Not Sebastian. What's his name?
Who?
The stallion. The Serbian stallion. That's who it is.
Oh.
Haven't heard from him yet, or a whole bunch of other people. They're waiting until over the weekend on a Monday to wish me a happy birthday, or that I should croak early, or one or the other. Doesn't bother me. Wish that I croak. Pray for it. Get a voodoo doll. An undercover operation by the Daytona Beach Police Department at a mall bathroom sent 9 men to jail after they went there seeking sexual relations. Oh, no. I sure hope they didn't run into Larry Craig. Former Daytona Beach City Commissioner Mike Shallow and Seabreeze High School teacher David Bruce Bellinger were among those arrested and charged with lewd and lascivious acts and exposure of sexual organs, like that one that was chopped off in that Hostel 2 that I saw last night. The charges are first-degree misdemeanors. Sears at the Evolution Mall on International Speedway Boulevard complained of the bathroom as being a spot where men went to have sexual relations, said investigator Jimmy Flint. The men were arrested Thursday, not caught together, but rather alone and seeking others to join them. They were going around like, hey, over here, like that, you know. And maybe they were like tapping their feet. Maybe there's a lot of tap dancing going on. You never know. It's Dance with the Stars. Maybe they're auditioning for Dance with the Stars, you think?
Maybe.
It's called Dance with the Stars. Get them taps on your shoes. Sammy Davis would be proud, baby. 222 for the Rastafarians. Nobody's going to touch them. And we know it's because of their profound beliefs. Do they really believe anything other than smoking a lot?
No, but I guess that's a good religion.
Jamaica, 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 Jamaica.
Boy, that's a long bit, 322. Maybe we'll have plenty of time to squeeze that in sometime before 2 o'clock. It is a Friday, you know. 10:59 on the poll. We'd sure like to get to 1,200 by 2 o'clock, just to like stick that in Footy's nose. Stick it in Footy's
Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Hey, you bastard.
Man Sausage Radio, 560 QAM, your community-minded sport host station, presents Ask the Management. Here once again to answer your questions, the two-faced windbag manager of WQAM and one-time boardwalk pitchman, Jolly Joe Bell.
Ho, ho! How did they know that? Went by the name of Shoeless Joe Bell back then. Ho, ho. Why, I still have a case of Rolex knockoffs in my trunk. Ho, ho, ho. Let's get right to your calls now, shall we?
Is this Joseph Felicia May Bell?
Joe Bell here.
This is a courtesy call from American Express. Your account is 6 months delinquent. When can we expect you to make a payment?
What's your question?
The question, Mr. Bell, is when
I've got a car here. Oh, hello?
Yes, is this Joseph Bocephus Bell?
Joe Bell here.
Mr. Bell, we're about to foreclose on your house. How soon can we expect?
Who are you? What's the meaning of this?
We're from the IRS. Give us your belongings and come with us, please.
So, what are you in for, chum?
MWI.
MWI? You were drunk when you managed? Oh, no. I was under the influence that I could. I'm ruined. They took everything. All I have left is my virginity. A virgin, huh? Yeah, a little joke. Oh, look. I dropped $1. I'll get it. Hey, what are you, bitch? I said squeal.
12:31 at 560 WQAM. That Jolly Joe, man, he sure gets around, doesn't he?
Rectum.
He sure spreads it around.
Sure squeals.
1064 on the survey. And the American dollar is in free fall. That's all I can tell you. I don't want you to get panicky or anything like that. I don't want you to get real nervous, especially with the weekend coming. But the loonie, the Canadian dollar, is $1.07.1. 107.1. That's enough to make me want to just jump out on the balcony and just keep jumping.
Things going up by the day.
Oh, it's going up by the hour. It was 106 point something a little while ago. Now it's 107.1. And the euro is just under 145. So pretty soon the euro is going to be $1.50 against the U.S. dollar. If you want to go to Europe, forget about it.
Correct.
Unless you're a zillionaire. And I think my traveling days in Europe may be real limited.
Is that right?
I mean, I could afford it, but I'd have to give up a whole lot of other things, like giving all my money away. 1068 on the poll. Seventh-day Adventists, by the way, are still bringing up the rear. Only 3. Well, that's because most people probably like meat, you know. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, I think most of the vegetarians are kind of like the people. I don't mind you being a vegetarian. You eat whatever you like, because that leaves a lot more of that good, juicy meat, those great steaks and burgers for me. But don't try to push it off on me, you know. That's what pisses us off about the PETA people. They're militant about it. Believe whatever you want, do what you want, but don't be militant and try to force it on everybody else, because that really frosts my fat, old, nasty ass. And I don't have all that much time left, you know. Who the hell? I could croak this weekend, you know. I could have a massive coronary, like, oi! And that would be it. So I think the good idea would be go out and get a real good, juicy steak tonight. Like maybe at Morton's. There's a great Morton's steakhouse here in one of the downtown hotels. I figure it's a Hyatt Hotel, I think. Never been there yet. You been to Morton's?
No.
I've been to one in Atlantic City.
And?
Very good.
You are so non-committal.
No, it was very good.
Well,
you know,
very good is like, I don't know. Just not that exciting to me.
I'm sorry.
Was it sensational? Was it like phenomenal? Was it as good as Ruth Chris?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, this is the one in Atlantic City, so I don't know the other one, so.
You don't know about the one in the Hyatt Hotel in Toronto?
Exactly.
It's because you've never been to Canada. You said you were in
I have
Niagara
been
Falls?
to Canada. I've been to Niagara Falls. I've like camped through the whole, you know, along the Canadian border.
You were along the Canadian border? You're camped right there in South Florida, let me tell you. South Carolina Democrats, speaking of camp, squashed Stephen Colbert's fanciful White House bid yesterday. Poor baby. Colbert, who poses as a conservative talk show host on the Comedy Central cable network, filed to get on the ballot as a Democratic candidate in his native South Carolina. His campaign paid a $2,500 filing fee just before the noon deadline, said State Democratic Party Chairwoman Carol Fowler. They don't come any fouler than Carol. However, I wonder how Lee Fowler's doing. Is he still dead or what? However, after about 40 minutes of discussion by top party officials, the Executive Council voted 13-3 to keep the host of the Colbert Report off the ballot. He's really trying to use South Carolina Democrats as suckers so he can further a comedy routine, said Waring Howe, a member of the Executive Council, and Colbert serves to detract from the serious candidates on the ballot. Oh, how many of those are there? But State Representative Gilda Cobb-Hunter told the committee Colbert could showcase the state in a way that none of the other candidates on the ballot have been able to do. I think you're taking this a little bit too seriously, she said. You go, honey, Gilda. When Colbert announced his candidacy on his show last month, he said he would run only in this key primary state of South Carolina. He said then he planned to run as a Democrat and a Republican so he could lose twice. The GOP filing fee is $35,000. The deadline was last night. Didn't file on that one, I guess. Democrats say he'll get his $2,500 back. Isn't that great?
Yes.
Poor Stephen Colbert. Back in the 60s, we used to have Pat Paulson, who was a late-night, he was on like a bunch of different comedy shows, Steve Allen show. Pat Paulson, he was always running for president. He was a joke candidate.
Now, do you like Stephen Colbert?
No, he's okay.
Oh, I'm excited. You usually don't like anyone, new.
You mean like Jon Stewart?
Right.
It's not a question of whether I like him or not. It's a question of whether I've ever heard him say anything funny or I like that show, and I've seen it several times now. And to me, it's just a bunch of people on laughing gas in the audience who are all pumped up, and every time he says anything, they just, there's a million of those shows.
That's right. That's how those shows
the audience
work.
is always howling and carrying on, and, all the late-night shows are like that. Everybody's drunk, stoned. But I just, I don't know, Colbert's okay. He's done a couple of things that were impressive to me, but...
If you get a chance to watch the White House correspondence speech...
Yeah,
that'll do it for you.
Okay. I didn't say I didn't like him. I never said that, but you're trying to put words in my mouth to make me seem like an old fuddy-duddy,
Well, you're not a big fan of anyone new on the block in any department, whether
like
it's
who?
broadcasting or...
Like who, Jay Leno?
Anybody. There's no... You're kind of in the past with who's good and who's not, you know what I mean?
That's correct. And you want to know why? Because most of what's on now sucks. Most of what's on now blows, okay? Everything is relative. And if there weren't any of these other people in the past who were very funny and very creative, like Steve Allen and Jack Parr and people like that, then people like Jay Leno maybe would be funny to somebody, or Jimmy Kimmel, or people like that who aren't the least bit funny. But nonetheless, do you find those people funny?
Well, Jimmy Kimmel's not funny on his show, but he's really good on, roasts and things.
Oh, great. Well,
like
let's roast his ass then. Maybe he's a roasted you.
Oh, what?
1,076 votes on the poll. I think we're going to make our, 1,200. I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit unrealistic on a Friday. We had a really good start, though.
Yes, we did.
Because this is something that everybody could stink their teeth into. And, of course, it's a non-Dolphin weekend, so the Dolphins aren't going to lose this weekend. People should be in a pretty good mood and should be all whipped up for my birthday on Monday. All that money you were going to spend going to the bars and stuff like that, all the sports bars and stuff, all that money, send it to me instead for my birthday. I can lose it at Woodbine. Haven't been back since Wednesday night. Boy, now, of course, it's only Friday, That was a bad experience. One thing about the $5 machines, man. You know the word for them?
What?
Dangerous. If you get not just a bad machine, but if you get a few... There were people around me, I'm trying these different $5 Wheel of Fortunes, and I just was never at the right one at the right time. Some jackass comes along, he gets $2,000 on the wheel. Then this drunken Middle Eastern guy comes along. He's talking to himself. Oh, give me just one more. Give me one more, yeah. And he gets $2,500 on the wheel.
Now
Bastard.
It's the $5 machine, and how many coins max?
2. Every time you hit the button, it's $10.
$10, okay.
So you can lose $100 like that, faster than you can fart, or cut a raspberry.
Must be nice.
So it's dangerous, man. It's a big upside, a much bigger upside, but also a much better downside. And then I went out and I played the 25, the quarter machines, the digital ones, and I won $600 in about 5 minutes.
Not too bad.
On a quarter machine. And I took it all back to the $5 machine and gave it all back. Not good. Stay away from the $5 machine, man, unless you're a zillionaire and you can afford to go in there and just, plunge your guts out. But if you're a zillionaire, you're never going to win enough money that it's going to make any difference anyhow. It was just a deflating experience. You know what I say? A fool and his money are soon parted. Gambling is evil, baby. Let's just sit around and praise the Lord. Let's hold hands and praise the Lord.
So what time are you going today?
Probably tonight. I'll meet you there.
Okay.
You can bring your last 6 weeks' pay, and we can play the penny machines. They have a penny Wheel of Fortune with a big wheel, makes a lot of noise.
A penny Wheel of Fortune?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I think it's a 2-cent job. But the deal is you got to play 40 credits times 40 lines times 5 credits in order to get the maximum. So that's like $2. It's really a $2 machine. What?
Yeah, like $2 or $4 or whatever.
No, it's $4. So it's a $4 machine, even though you think you're playing a 2-cent machine. Unless you just want to play like one at a time, which you don't get any spin, you don't get anything. But it kills some good time, 1080 on the poll, 1,080 votes. What would you rather be? How about then any of these? I'd rather be dead. We're not going to put that on there, but I don't want to be forced to be some religious faker, okay? I don't want to be standing on a street corner handing out pamphlets like crazy people. And you notice, all those people who do that, one thing they have in common, they're all crazy.
These names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Coming.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Neil God. Tonight on Scariest Places on Earth.
In the summer of 2007, passengers ready to board a flight at Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport were shaken by a terrifying event in the men's room.
I was in this stall right here,
kind of, minding my own business, doing my business, and our flight was leaving in about 5 minutes. And I heard this tapping. It sent chills up more than my spine.
It's happened to me before, too. I saw him. There's a man standing there, erect, in the stall, and he scared the daylights out of me.
Congress denied the incident ever happened.
I tell my friends about it, but they don't really believe me. But I know what I experienced in this men's room here at this airport.
That's tonight on Scariest Places on Earth.
12:45 at 560 WQAM. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Some days this show goes flying by like greased lightning, and other days, like today, wow. How long have we been here? About 20, 30 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
Seems like that. Is it just me, or is it...
no, you know what? Today has seemed really long.
Dragging. Really been dragging. Maybe if we stuck some phone calls in here like I did on Tuesday.
There you go. Let's see what we got going.
You think that might change the pace a little bit? I mean,
sure,
I don't have a huge pile of stuff here, but I don't know. I feel like I've been working overtime today.
Don't do that. Weekend of your birthday,
That's especially correct. I don't want to be doing that. Then I lose all my energy for pushing those buttons there on the machine's on at Woodbine.
Take some calls, spin some wax, whatever.
No, I don't want to spin any wax, okay? Don't start with that George crap.
Why not?
Why do I want to spin some wax?
I'm just messing with you.
That's a cop-out, George. No, he only did that on whatever that holiday was, or whenever.
Yeah, he does it on holidays.
Or when Lucy Lopez isn't there. Lucy, 5670560. See, I got to wait for that 40-second delay to catch up so these clowns know that I might take their calls, because I'm sure they got a lot to say, like they always do. And pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular wireless line. We'll take a few. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, happy birthday. When's your birthday?
Monday.
Happy birthday to you, gay bastard.
Okay, thanks, schmuck. Well, there's a couple of good calls to get it started, and that's about all we got.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you wanted them, Josh. That's it. That's a medley of them. Chamba! And that guy was all right. See, they don't want to call and wish me happy birthday. If they think I'm taking calls on Monday and have like 4 hours of people saying, happy birthday, Neil, you old fag, or whatever, That's not compelling radio like footy, He must do really compelling radio. How can he be on the air? I don't get it. Everybody's a talk show host. Well, everybody's like all the ex-jocks. I mean, if they can be on the air, I guess he can, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least he's kind of a sort of broadcaster, sort of. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, happy birthday on behalf of all of your fans out there. We all listen, all hardworking people, and we love you, and you make our lives brighter.
Thank you so much.
All right, happy birthday.
Thank you. Bye. I don't know if it's appropriate to say happy birthday when somebody's turning 65. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, why not?
How about like condolences, Neil, or something like that? You old fart. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, happy birthday.
Thank you.
I've been listening to you since KAT.
So, wow, you must be old too then, huh?
I'm getting there, man. I grew up with you. What's the status, and the reason I'm asking this is what happened with Hank, what happened with Eddie Kaplan. I listened to his farewell last night. What's the status?
Well, wait a minute. Eddie K had a farewell last night?
Yeah, he said he gave his on-the-air farewell right before midnight. I mean, it used to be Jews and Jocks there, and it's turning into the Fourth Reich.
Yeah.
I mean, with Hank going, and I know Eddie, I liked Eddie a lot. He's a good guy, and that's an important thing, and his show was something different at least.
Yeah.
And,
that's for sure.
Yeah, I know, but,
So what did he say? What did Eddie say? This is the first I'm hearing about this. This is news to all of us.
He thanked his audience and his sponsors. He took like the last 10-minute segment of his show. He said he's going to go, take some time off, maybe go to Vegas. He's heard there's a great town called Las Vegas. He might go visit. And then he said he'd see what he might, do thereafter. There might be opportunities for him in this market. He just didn't know, and that was pretty much it.
Wow.
He was just down to earth and humble, nothing, no finger pointing or anything like that. He was very classy.
Well, good for him. Good luck, Eddie. You'll need it.
What's the deal with you, Neil? Are you locked into QAM for the time to be coming, or what's going on?
Yeah, for another 13 months, 14 months, whatever the hell it is, for an eternity.
It's
14 months.
Starting to worry me there. Like I said, it's starting to look like the Fourth Reich.
Okay, good luck to us, Pally. Thank you so much. Oh, I don't want to get depressed now. So Eddie K is all gone. We wish him nothing but the best. He's a great guy. Boring show, but nevertheless good guy.
It'd be good if someone told us that, you know?
What?
That Eddie K's gone.
Yeah, it's nice that somebody in the audience called in. It's a damn lucky thing we took the calls or we wouldn't know anything about it. There's no memo. There's nothing, period. There's nothing in Barry Jackass has no column today. Tom Jicka, of course, sold his radio to buy a hairpiece. I mean, what are we talking about here? Clarence. We're out of the loop. They tell us nothing. That's why if you look at the schedule, for example, for the weekend, ESPN Radio is all over the place, starting at 2 o'clock in the morning tonight. ESPN Radio, maybe that's what they're going to do, is just simulcast ESPN Radio 24/7. They're blowing the humper out of there at Eddie K, and then probably they won't renew me next year, which is fine with me because time to retire. That's what Brandon said. And the Mad Dog, I think the Mad Dog is the only one left. And now we got Joe back, but Joe's already been gone twice. But the Mad Dog's the only one who survived, steady over the whole period of time. They'll find some reason.
All right.
Well, the Dolphins stink, so we don't want you on there, Mad Dog, because you remind everybody of the Dolphins or some stupid crap like that. They'll come up with some garbage. Because one thing they've done is a burn and destroy mission, the likes of which nobody has ever seen. Nice going, Jolly Joe. You're almost making a clean sweep, idiot. WQAM, hello.
Neil, I didn't understand what your last caller, what does he mean by the Fourth Reich? What does that mean? What does that actually mean, a Fourth Reich? Because it's not all...
In other words, killing off all the Jews on here. The Third Reich, Hitler and Germany. Look it up in the books. Wow. 5670560.
Oh, do they be good?
They are good, you're right. Not as good as they used to be, but they're good. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing, bud?
Okay, Pally.
Happy birthday, pal.
Thanks.
Hey, listen, I was looking at a book, and it's called Historic Photographs of Miami. And they got a photograph, I guess it's back during the war years, and right in the middle of the table there's a microphone that says QAM on it. And then I guess whoever wrote the book's a fan of yours, it said it's now the home of Miami radio icon Neil Rogers on there.
Wow.
Well,
that sure is a feather in my ear, I'll tell you.
I'm sorry?
I said, have a great day. WQAM, hello.
Neely.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. I want to wish you early congratulations for your birthday Monday. I won't be able to call.
Thank you.
I will have a big steak.
Okay, I will. I'll go out and
watch Magnolia.
Yeah.
And then tell George how much I love the ending the next day.
Okay, see ya. Well, I don't want to overdo it, We got 1,090 votes on the poll. If they really get with it, we could do our 1,200.
1093.
Slow down dramatically, though, I will say that.
1093.
No, but we had a shoe-in for 1,200 now. It's a little bit...
Well, it's still less than 2.
Like I said. WQAM, hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your blood sugar today?
Chronic.
Oh, are you writing them down?
No, I got some good advice for you.
Okay, 156. It's too high, but better than it has been.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's not too good.
You know what's a good diet? Corn and butter.
Oh, yeah.
It stops it filled you up.
Corn is pure starch, sir. It's pure starch. It sends your blood sugar skyrocketing. Are you diabetic?
Nobody's an
Yeah,
idiot.
but I...
Yeah, you're going to be dead soon, sir. I'll tell you that right now. Corn and butter my ass. I mean...
Yeah,
was
that's
that
John and
incredible or what?
Davey. That's John and Davey, also known as Show Killer.
How do you know who that is?
Because he's chronic on the sports side.
Oh, my God. They talk to a guy like that on the sports shows? No wonder we got, digits like...
Oh, yeah, well, he's cursed me out when I wouldn't put him on a show that I was working.
Yeah.
He's like, everyone else puts me on. I'm like, well,
we don't want to put you on, okay? Don't ever call this show again, John from Davey. And go eat go take your corn cob.
Rectum.
Clean your butt with it. WQAM, hello.
Hi, happy birthday.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes?
How are you today?
Great.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for making your call.
The callers are the reason why you still have the program, so, keep answering the phone call.
Wait a minute. Well, the callers are the reason that I still have the program? What does that mean?
The callers are the reason why you have the...
Get out of here. Get lost. The callers are the reason that we have the program. What kind of a line is that? You mean all 6 of them? The callers are the reason that I'm going to be dead in a few months. You idiot. The callers are the reason that I have the program. How many months since I really took any calls? Months and months and months. And then previous to this, there was a period I went 7 months without calls. We did just fine. And back then, I didn't even know how to do it the way I'm doing it now, but back then it was okay. We didn't have gigantic numbers, but it's better than talking to the same 3 people every single day. Chamba, Prozac, we've already had 2 of them. Great show, Neil. You're a moron, sir. You're probably Joe Bell's boyfriend. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. He wants to hear the interaction between Neil and the callers. What you know about this show, Fat Jolly Joe, you could stick in a thimble and have room for your fat ass left over.
Biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Under 2 hour.
Right now on Entertainment Tonight.
An Iowa man is facing indecent exposure charges from some unusual circumstances. Federal officials say they found 47-year-old Craig McCullough lying in a restroom with his pants down next to, quote, an anatomically correct inflatable doll. And it's not his first brush with the law. In 2005, he was convicted of robbing a Cedar Rapids bridal boutique. Just after the burglary, police found him in a nearby alley carrying a mannequin wearing a bridal gown.
Great! The UPS truck is here with my date for tonight! Bye-bye! She's not very sensual, because she's got no genitals. She feels sensational, because her mouth is electrical. Having fun with my girlfriend is always a cinch. When she's pumped up to 35 pounds per square inch, she used to be fun for me till she busted. My girlfriend is inflatable. Yeah, she's a real doll. She's made of silicone. My girlfriend is inflatable. Yeah, she's a real doll. She's made in Taiwan. I bought myself several. They all look identical. Her panties are edible. And too bad she's flammable. It was just a first date, so you know how I felt. She got friction burns and started to melt. She used to be fun for me till she ignited. My girlfriend is inflatable. Oh no, how it happened, I don't know how. My girlfriend is inflatable. Oh no, it's too bad she's a fire now. My girlfriend is inflatable.
102 at 560 WQAM. That was an interesting thing with the calls there. And like I said, once in a while I'll turn that monitor on and reach over and do the stupid thing. It was okay. Had its moments. And then the last guy, he convinced me, okay, that's enough.
Mm-hmm.
Enough for today. You're still on the show because of the callers, right? You know, it takes a tremendous amount of talent to reach over and punch one of these buttons up and say, here's John in Miramar, or here's Sally in Plantation, or some stupid crap like that. Takes no talent. None. Zero. A monkey could do it if he could speak. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes.
People don't turn on anybody's show because of the callers. People turn on somebody's show because they want to hear somebody, whoever it might be. So to give me a song to dance, you silly old fart. See, I'm an old fart, but I can't stand old farts. You know what I mean? I don't care about how old you are. It all depends on your state of mind. But if your behavior is that of an old fart, a grumpy old piece of turd, I don't want nothing to do with you. Like that John from Davie, or what's the guy?
Yeah, John from Davie.
Go away, John from Davie. We don't want you on this show. We don't want you on this station. We don't want you in the community. We don't want you on this planet. Go to Uranus, okay, John? Take your corn and your butter and stick them where the moon don't shine. A maniac. That would be like saying, well, you know, the best thing is like 16 candy bars a day would get your blood sugar down real good and you'd be real healthy, Neil. Corn. Pure carbs. And then the sad part of it is I love corn. Wow. Don't you like corn on the cob or just even corn with butter?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
Oh, the Dow, the industrials are up 30 points now. Look at that big turnaround. And the dollar is falling like a rock from the top of the Empire State Building. Thank you, Mr. President, for those low gas prices and that worthless, crappy American dollar that's just, So speaking of the Virgin Mary on Totino's Pizza, almost 5 million Totino's and Geno's frozen pizzas with pepperoni toppings are being recalled because the pepperoni may be contaminated with E. coli, General Mills said yesterday. I saw them hyperventilating about this on the news. I like my Pappy Rooney, baby.
Who doesn't?
To me, just like plain cheese pizza, I don't know. I'm just not for me.
Yeah, that's like vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, I would say so. Plus, I can't eat the crust anyway, so if you're going to just eat the toppings, which is a smart way to go, Chris, like with a fork. No, that's the way to do it.
That's tough.
Speaking of fat people in this business, I remember years ago, Larry Kent used to order like a whole pizza, like a pepperoni and cheese pizza, and he would take a fork and just eat the topping from the whole pizza. He's dead, by the way.
That's ridiculous.
Why is that?
Well, I don't. Never mind.
No, tell me why it's ridiculous.
I don't have to worry about it. I just that's crazy. Ordering a whole pizza and just eating the cheese and the toppings.
Yeah.
That's just it's tough.
He probably would have died sooner, I would think, if he would have eaten the crust. I don't know. He's dead. General Mills, which owns the Totino's and Gino's brand, said the recall affects about 414,000 cases of pizza products currently in stores and all similar pizza products that might be in consumers' freezers. Each case contains 12 pizzas. I'm just passing this along in case any of you people have this crap in your freezer. Although Totino's isn't that bad. I don't know about Gino's. Do you ever have Gino's frozen pizza?
No.
What about Totino's? I bet you Chris has. I bet you Chris has eaten every food product that they've ever invented.
No.
No? What about corn?
I like corn. Roasted
corn with butter?
Roasted corn with butter, a little bit, yeah.
I like to go out on the grill and wrap it in tin foil, that Indian corn. The best corn, actually, is white corn. That's the sweetest. Do you like white corn?
Yeah, get some sweet Jersey corn, man. That's what
baby. The possible E. coli contamination was uncovered by state and federal authorities investigating 21 E. coli-related illnesses in 10 states. By the way, on the pool, we got 1106. We got a shot at our 1200. We at least made 1100 today. That's not bad on a Friday. Friday is generally a kind of a dim day. A lot of people go away for the weekend. I don't know what it is. Although I notice this show is sold out every day. Isn't that great? And I don't have to do all those pain in the ass live spots. We leave those for Joe and, what's his name? Eddie Jackson in the morning. General Mills said 9 of the 21 people reported having eaten Totino's or Gino's pizza with pepperoni topping at some point before coming ill. Wow. The people became ill between July 20 and October 10. They all recovered, though. Nobody died. Wouldn't that be a terrible way to die from eating a pepperoni pizza?
Yes.
The people didn't have packages with date codes or other information. General Mills needs to narrow down which pizzas might be affected. General Mills spokesman Tom Forsyth said that for the same reason the company couldn't determine which of its suppliers provided the pepperoni. E. coli is a potentially deadly bacteria that can cause bloody diarrhea and dehydration.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Bloody diarrhea, huh?
Bloody diarrhea. I bet you Jolly Joe's got a lot of that, especially when the numbers come out every month. Wild, screaming bloody diarrhea. The very young, seniors, and persons with compromised immune systems are the most vulnerable to foodborne disease. The very young, the very old, and whatever. And the ugly. The recall includes 8 types of Totino's brand frozen pizza and 3 types of Gino's brand frozen pizza with pepperoni topping or pepperoni in combination with other toppings. The frozen pizzas were produced in Wellston, Ohio plant distributed throughout the U.S. Forsyth said the company had yet to determine the cost of the recall. Wow, what a shame. If you got your Totino's and Gino's, my best advice would be go to the freezer and throw it out. When in doubt, throw it out, baby. Pepperoni only. If you got sausage and cheese, then do whatever you like. 1,112 votes on the poll on which religion would you pick if you had to pick one. Speaking of religious crazy people, the Osama bin Laden video released this past September 7, just prior to the 6th anniversary of 9/11, has provoked widespread suspicions of fraud. Wow! In particular, bin Laden's beard, which was gray and ragged in the video released just before the 2004 election, is thick, black, and neatly trimmed in the new footage. The video aroused widespread suspicions that bin Laden's beard had been faked in some way, with former White House counterterrorism advisor Richard Clarke even speculating that bin Laden had shaved in order to hide out in a country like Indonesia, where Muslim men don't wear beards, and had then pasted on a false beard for the video. He's wearing falsies. More recently, it's been noted that all but a small portion of the 25-minute video consists of still images, including the section where it mentions current events, suggesting the possibility that old footage has been doctored to seem new. They doctored it, just like they did across the street in the July trend. Boy, they got a real awakening coming on November 21, that, unless they get another bunch of wired diaries, which I doubt. I mean, in July, everybody in South Florida, even fetuses were listening to the ticket. People that haven't been born yet were listening over there. Joel. Then he's going to get pissed off when the numbers come out and that July drops off because it's going to be August, September, October, and then he's going to go beat somebody up again, no doubt. Computers, and like I said, you notice how that story had no legs at all, and it was there, and then it just vanished. No follow-up, no nothing. Doesn't that seem a little bit strange to you? Of course, just because they're in bed with everybody in the media. That must just be coincidence. Computer security consultant Neil Krawitz told NBC News that the latest Osama video is strikingly similar to the previous 2004 release, appearing to use the same studio setting and clothing, but that the beard itself doesn't appear to be false. Other video analysts are in disagreement about whether the videos could have been recorded at the same time, and if so, how to explain the difference in bin Laden's beard. Fox News spoke about the controversy to David Gartenstein Ross, Vice President for Research at the Foundation for the Defense of Democracies. David Gartenstein Ross. I wonder if he's kin to Ileana Ross, Rosanna Dana. I'm not an expert on video analysis, he said. I don't have a view as to whether or not this video was pre-recorded. Well, then why the hell did they put it in the story, for Christ's sakes? You people at Raw Story. They have good stuff, though, Raw Story. It's pretty raw. However, he expressed more self-assurance on the question of bin Laden's beard, saying there are only certain circumstances under Islamic law where you're allowed to dye your beard black. One of these is a tool of war to make yourself seem like a more formidable opponent. Maybe the Dolphins ought to do that. Deception itself is only allowed under certain circumstances under Islamic law, he said. Al-Qaeda may well have thought that it was permissible to go ahead and record a great deal of video in case bin Laden is still alive but unable to appear on video. Or maybe he's not even still alive. Who the hell knows? We did a hell of a job smoking him out of his holes and going out there and getting the evildoers, these folks that knock these buildings down. We're going to go out and smoke them out of their holes. Right. A lot of smoke, all right, and a lot of holes. There's a word that goes in front of it. I can't say ass. Oh, look at that. I've worked for 30 years because some effing nigger heard us say nigger and turned us into the Inquirer magazine. Our career is over. I'm not taking that chance at all.
A&E has stopped the series in its tracks but hasn't canceled it. While all this
gets
sorted out, the dog has apologized and promised to make things...
That's Dog the Bounty Hunter said that. He's worked all these years, not going to allow some N to... how do you like that? Wow. What would you expect from a guy like that anyway? Doesn't he impress you as being a real redneck?
Well, yeah, not to mention he's all iced up all the time.
Iced up?
Yeah.
What would you know about that?
I don't know anything about that.
Oh. Dog the Bounty Hunter, my ass. I'm going to tell you, A&E, which used to be like an intellectual network, you know. They used to have like a lot of artsy-fartsy stuff on there, some pretty interesting stuff. And they still got like biography stuff on there and some pretty good shows once in a while. But now it's like the tattoo thing inked, you know, and then the, what's the guy with the illusionist? What
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel. Oh, boy. My God. And then they got this Dog the Bounty Hunter. Or at least they did have. But I think he used the N-word a few times too many there, and they're going to, like, fry his ass big time.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Colossians. Thessalonians, Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, Peter, John, Jude, and Revelation. Oh!
All right, that good old-time religion, baby. That's where it be at. That's what it's all about. How are we doing on the poll, Chris? We're going to make our 1,200 or what?
Yeah, of course we are.
I got some bad news for you.
11:20. Oh, we got bad news? What is that?
How many stories have you sent me today?
A bunch. Why?
Okay. You're going to have to resend those to me.
Oh!
I accidentally deleted the folder, so I just had to, fix it up again. So I'm good now. I got my Neil Rogers folder again.
Did you hear the thump? That was him hitting the ground.
Just go ahead and send those.
What do you mean just go ahead and send those?
Go ahead and resend them. Won't take you long,
Oh.
Next break.
I guess I can go with my Outlook.
Give you something to do, right?
Resend all of those? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I'm not going to go back and call the original stories again. Are you a crazy person or what?
Yes.
Oh. Well, what is wrong with you this week? You're the guy that's always begging me for money, which I don't mind. You're a good guy, but this week...
What is wrong with you? I'm begging you for money. Do I beg you for money? Seriously?
I forget which day it was, but the one day you had the stories on like at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're still finishing it up. And that was yesterday because your Halloween night drunkenness.
That's right.
And then today, I send you a bunch of stuff for tomorrow, which you know I'm always like well ahead during the show. Before the show and during, I'm sending you stuff to put on there for tomorrow.
Right.
And I would estimate that it probably sent you a dozen anyway. At least.
I'd say that's a good amount.
Oh, so in other words, just send those, and if like the world is coming to an end, don't say anything more?
Well, I tell you what, I'll make an exception if the world's coming to an end.
I got some good news for you, Neil.
Yes?
You don't have to resend them.
Why
Eric
is that?
says he has a copy, so he'll take care of resending.
Who has it?
Eric.
Thank you, Eric. See?
He's the best.
Eric's not difficult.
He is the best damn fat guy, man, that ever came down the pike.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Next to me. Thanks, Eric.
So never mind, Neil. Never mind.
You mean the check?
No, not the check. Just remember, December. Man. December. Don't do it this month.
Remember the story, Chris, we had about the fight over that guy's fake leg, that wooden leg or whatever?
Yeah, the barbecue and everything?
Here we go. Shannon Wisnett already has 2 legs, and on yesterday, Judge Greg Mathis said that's enough. This is in Charlotte, North Carolina. The leg, Mathis said, when the decision aired yesterday evening on his reality television court program, belongs to John Wood, who was born with it. Wisnett walked away with $5,000. Oh, Judge Mathis, I know that guy. You're not getting that leg, Mathis told Wisnett. I'm not giving you the man's leg. I guess it was appropriate that I watched Hostel 2 last night. Don't watch it, by the way, folks, unless you're just into blood and guts. There's no story. It's real crap, although there are a couple of boobies. Wood and Wisnett, and there's also a penis in there, too. It gets chopped off. I shouldn't have told you that, but it gets chopped off. And then at the end, the one chick, her head, since you saw the first one, the little kids that kept running around scaring everybody, demanding chewing gum and all. You remember them?
Yes.
Well, this movie, they're a lot more, this movie, they're beating people up. And at the end, after the chick gets her head chopped off and it's rolling around on the ground, they use it as a soccer ball and they're kicking it all around and the movie ends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, you might like it. Wood and Wisnett have been vying for ownership of the appendage since September 25, when Wisnett bought a barbecue smoker at a maiden auction and opened it up to find Wood's leg, the foot, 5 toes, ankle, and most of the calf inside in that barbecue smoker. Wood's leg was amputated after a 2004 plane crash, and he had been keeping it in the smoker as storage unit with his other belongings. But after he failed to pay $550 in rental fees, the owner of the facility auctioned off his things, including his leg. And even though Wisnett got $5,000, which was paid through Judge Mathis, out of the deal he would have rather walked away with 2 left feet, he told the Observer yesterday. He'd open a museum, he said, displaying the leg for a fee, $10 for adults, $5 for seniors, $3 for kids, and nothing for amputees, and showcase other oddities as well. Well, on
Why
Thursday,
would you go to see some dude's leg?
They wouldn't. I don't think. On Thursday, Wisnett refused to say how much he paid for the smoker unless he was given money for the information. Decisions made by Mathis are binding, publicist Christine DeJoy said, and Wood and Wisnett agreed not to file the same lawsuit in any other jurisdiction. Wood asked for $5,000 for emotional distress the case has caused, which Mathis denied. I wonder if it was a Wood leg. I think that you all, quite frankly, are enjoying this, Mathis said. Wood has admitted as much. It's just crazy. I've been having a fun time with it, Wood said yesterday, but I apologize to the world for this because I know a lot of people don't want to hear about it. Now, we like hearing about it. I think it's a great story.
What kind of fun was he having with that leg?
Yeah, it's fun fighting over some guy's leg that got chopped off long ago. I mean, if it just got chopped off last week, I don't think it'd be so funny. I'm not saying it's funny, but it's funny. Oh, there's Totino's. They just showed the box of pizza. And that one had the Virgin Mary. I've seen it. Oh, my God, there she was.
Better call eBay.
There was the Virgin Mary. All spread eagle and everything. 11:26 on the poll. We're not going to make 1,200. We need 2 a minute.
We got it, man.
Slow down to a freaking crawl. And you know something? Since it's the calls that make the show, since I took those stupid calls, all of a sudden the show has come to a crawl from the calls.
Hey, it's a privilege, not a right to get on the air.
That guy needs to be in Slovakia, that guy. The last call I took, give me a song. The reason I still got the show is because of the callers. You should live so long, you miserable old bastard. The reason I have the show is because of the callers, right. What the callers have done to me, I wouldn't wish on Hitler and Curry.
And Curry, what you do to you now?
And Colder. Man Colder. 11:26. We need 74 votes. And it's not moving either. I think Eric, in addition to sending you the stories, he put the foot on a brake, just so he's not too good to me today. Hey, do it as a birthday present to me, Eric. Let's take your foot off the brake. If the law said you had to have a religion, which one would you choose? Rastafarian, 237. Buddhist, 180. Jewish, 172. Catholic, 171. The Catholics are right on the Jews' ass. Wiccan, 110. What's the Wiccan thing there? What is that?
They're wicked people.
No. Well, we got a lot of those. Methodist, 48. Episcopalian, 46. I'm reading Episcopalian off about that.
What'd you say?
You heard me. Baptist, 34. Santeria, 27. Mormon, 19. Hindu, 18. Shinto, 16. Scientologist, 15. To which I say,
You fairy.
Muslim, 10. Jehovah's Witness, 8. Pentecostal, 7. Christian Scientist, 5. And Seventh-day Adventist, still only the same 3. They're not moving that delicious with no taste crap. 11:27. Yeah, Loma Linda. That's the brand from. I guess that must be their headquarters.
See, now that sounds familiar, but
you'll see it in the freezer. You might want to try it sometime.
That's okay.
Well, why do you say that?
Aren't you
you don't care. You're a big meat eater, I'm sure. You're a fat cow, so you don't care about, They have breakfast. I used to buy them, actually. They're not that bad. Breakfast patties that are like vegetarian. They're like a bunch of vegetables smushed into like a patty,
Oof.
Actually, I like a patty melt myself. Oh, boy. Don't you love a patty melt sandwich? See, I had 3 great days in a row, and I'm going to do it again today. I'm going to give me a great steak.
It's the way to go, man.
And maybe some soup, some nice soup and a big, juicy steak. What more do you need,
That's right. Eat some meats, stay away from the treats.
Good, I like that.
Yeah.
Meat or treat, that's going to be next Halloween. Meat or treat.
Where are you going to go around saying that, though?
Catholic Church. It's bad. New York City Councilman Eric Joya, or is that Goya? Joya said he supports a call for an investigation of former Mayor Rudy Giuliani's failure to provide New York City firefighters with radios that could have saved lives on 9/11. The facts in the case are collected in a recent short video documentary from Brave New Films called The Real Rudy Radios. I'll do everything in my power to get answers, to get the truth, Councilman Gioia announced after receiving a BNF-launched petition with 20,000 names on it. There needs to be accountability. Giuliani did nothing to improve the New York City Fire Department's radio performance for 7 years after the World Trade Center attack in '93. The Giuliani administration then awarded Motorola with a no-bid contract for new radios that were not field-tested, did not work properly, and were immediately pulled from the field. As a consequence of the inability of the firefighters' antiquated radios to receive police broadcasts, firefighters in the North Tower never received an alert from an NYPD helicopter that the building was in danger of collapse and remained in place while police officers evacuated. The building's collapse killed 121 firefighters. Many firefighters in New York City and across the country are very hostile to Giuliani's presidential bid and accuse him of derelict behavior and unfair favoritism toward the police. One fire battalion chief, Jim Riches, who lost his son Jim in the attack on the World Trade Center, is especially angry about Giuliani. He's turned his mourning over the loss of his son into becoming a relentless opponent of Rudy Giuliani's campaign. With other families of 9/11 victims, Riches has vowed to torpedo Giuliani's prospects of winning the White House by attacking his greatest source of strength, his reputation as a hero that day. We're going to follow him around the country, Richard said. We want all of America to know he's not the man he be saying he is.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Country should never forget.
Yeah. Wow. Boy, no trip you on that other one. I better get on it over the weekend, huh? Don't let me forget to do that, okay? Remind me. Okay. Send me a post-it note. 133, there's Bozo.
Freedom and liberty. That freedom is the great alternative to the ideology of the murderers and the radicals.
The murderers and the radicals. You mean like, look in the mirror, W. Look in the mirror. Butcher. 11:41 on the poll, Chris. We need 59 votes in 27 minutes. It's, I don't know, it's a tall order on a Friday.
It's doable.
I think they're gonna let you down today. Not good. And I think that Chris, Josh's idea, having them phones, it was all right. Wasn't it your idea?
It was just fine. Yeah.
You thought it was fine?
Yeah, I've heard a lot worse.
Yeah, that's true. And we only had
Chamba and Prozac. Happy birthday, Prozac.
those two. We didn't have. Well, Neil. Yeah, maybe he found a different hobby. Maybe Footy has got some of those people. We can only pray.
Hopefully.
Now, what did you say, that you don't think people would go to a museum to see the guy's leg and the digits? Well, in tiny Bishop, California, 5 hours north of L.A., Representative Buck McKeon, Republican of California, wants to build a museum honoring the mule.
Huh?
McKean has requested a $50,000 earmark to explore the possibility of building a museum in the town that every Memorial Day weekend holds the biggest mule celebration in the USA. Jackass.
What?
It might sound preposterous, but McKean is doing what many of his House colleagues are doing, appropriating federal funds for pet projects back home. How unusual. Not. McKean has requested funds for studying the feasibility of building a museum and providing support for operations.
Poll or political party considerations.
According to the Congressional Spending Watchdog Group, Americans for Prosperity, House members this year alone seek to spend $13.7 million in taxes on 63 museum-related expenses. And the requests aren't limited to one party. Representative John Murtha, Democrat of Pennsylvania, often called the king of pork by critics, has asked for $150,000 to restore the W.A. Young & Sons Foundry to a key historic property, according to the description posted on Murtha's website. The foundry in Rice's Landing in Murtha's economically distressed district is right next to Gary Smith's home. Smith parks his car in front of the building because, he says, they got a tour in there only once a year. Both McKean and Murtha refused to talk to CNN about their earmark requests. Earmarks have been a political hot button for years, commonly derided as pork, puerco. Pet projects are tucked into spending bills. In 2006, Congress approved a record $29 billion in earmarks. $29 billion. We're almost talking about real money now, baby. Wow. $29 billion. The way they take our tax money. You know, that story I had the other day about being able to tell, tell the government how they could use your tax money, allocate it to certain things that you believed in, and the rest of it no way. Wouldn't that be nice?
Mm-hmm.
Even the Beach Boys are singing, wouldn't it be nice? What do you think? 11:43, I don't think we're going to do it. I think we're going to fall short. And it's whose fault is that? Who came up with that 1200 number anyway? I did?
Probably. I think I was shooting for 11:50.
11:45, I think we got 11:50 in the bag. We need 2.4 minutes to get to 1200. See what I'm saying? We don't do that. Unless we get a big chunk. Unless all of a sudden they come through. And then this is not something that requires like any, I mean, if we put another alternative on there, like none of the above or something like that. Or, how about, I wouldn't do it. If the law said you had to have a religion, which would you choose? How about jail? How about something that says, I wouldn't do it? No?
No.
Well, why not? In other words, you're giving up already. It's only 1:36. We got 24 long, excruciating minutes to go.
I just don't want to give them an easy out.
Okay. All right. So in other words, we got to tough it out.
Correct.
When in doubt, tough it out. It's not going to happen. We need 55 votes in 23 minutes. Well, that's more than 2 a minute. Not going to happen.
I think
more than 1 in 10 people. I beg your pardon?
I'll say if we don't get it, we should just sacrifice Josh or something.
No, why don't we just sacrifice? Yeah, Josh Darrow. I'll go along with that.
Oh, okay.
Subhuman sacrifice. Isn't that what the Bible says we're supposed to do? Have a subhuman sacrifice to appease the Lord, who's a bloodthirsty. The Lord probably enjoyed Hostel Part 2. Bad flick, by the way, really bad. 11:48, 52. We got 2.3 a minute to get to 1200. And if we don't, it's going to be a sad weekend. And on my birthday, no less. How about for my birthday you come through and push that number up there, huh? Do a little something. Get off your dead ass. Go steal somebody's PC. And hop on NeilRogers.com and give a cook, give a vote. More than 1 in 10 people who kill themselves in Manhattan are suicide tourists who travel to the Big Apple, especially, often ending it all on one of the city's top landmarks, according to a study. How do you like that? Manhattan suicide tourists. Among the top choices for out-of-towners taking their own lives were the iconic Empire State Building, Times Square, and the George Washington Bridge. Remember the beginning of Network? He says, "You're a young fellow, don't do it." Remember he said, "Take me to the foot of the George Washington Bridge," William Holden? You didn't even see that, did you? You were sleeping already?
I don't remember. It was a while ago I watched it.
You don't remember? How could you miss that scene? It's the beginning of the movie Network, man. It's phenomenal. When he and Peter Finch go into the bar and they get drunk, which was more real life than fiction, by the way, William Holden and Peter Finch, they were holding it. Usually a bottle.
Yeah, so on one of our breaks today, I had to call a West Virginia radio station, try to get a highlight for tomorrow's pregame. And while I'm on hold, the show's coming back and they play the turn off your TV sets soundbite on their show.
On their show?
Yeah.
Well, what does that mean?
That means everybody likes networks.
Me. Television is not the truth. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off right in the middle of the set. I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. Oh!
I don't think any of us were aware, even conscious of thinking suicide among tourists, that people would travel to a city specifically for that, Daily News quoted study author David Vlahov as saying. Some 274 suicides by non-residents were recorded in Manhattan between 1990 and 2004, more than half of them as a result of long falls from bridges and high-rise commercial buildings, including hotels. While most suicides result from overdoses, hanging, or gunshot wounds, many people seek historic locations to die, said the study. These places become suicidal landmarks, said Daily News expert Richard Seiden. Killing yourself at landmark guarantees you notoriety that you might not have had. I mean, who wants to kill themselves like at a Dempsey dumpster, like that? Yeah. Shoot yourself and fall into the dumpster. Maybe nobody even finds you. If you jump off the Empire State Building and maybe squash a few people on the sidewalk, then it's big news. Then they will fear you.
The biggest names.
The best talent.
This is Neil Rogers.
Sports Radio 560 QAM.
The sports leader.
Rectum.
Oh! Well, I've known my sister all my life. That is why she's now my wife. And I think my son may know it's true. He's my nephew, too. Well, my daddy is my Uncle Joe. My mother is my dear Aunt Flo. It is very plain to see my first cousin is me. Oh!
You fairy.
Okay, I'm going to make a last-ditch effort now. By the way, thanks to Pete the Board Op, who sent me a nice birthday thing. And he says, I'm going to send you a WYNZ Wonder mug signed by David Hosley.
Yeah, and looks like we've got 3 birthday cards here for you.
No, come on.
I swear to you.
Wow.
From listeners, I guess.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I want you to add something to the poll real fast. Okay. I don't wanna. Just 3 words. I don't wanna.
I don't wanna.
Right. If the law said you have to have a religion, which would you choose? I don't wanna. That would be, I wish I could re-vote. If we'd have had that on there from the beginning, we'd have made it. We're not going to make it now, though. We got 1162. And there's Bush screaming like a madman. All the troops just in Fort Jackson. Hey, hallelujah!
President of the United States there speaking live at Fort Jackson in Columbia.
This is the president? Wow. Pophead Roosevelt, look what we got. Anyway, you had that on there?
Yep.
I don't see anything happening yet.
I'm doing it right now. Hold on.
I don't wanna.
Now, do you want that in all capitals, or?
I don't care. When you put it on there, you idiot, what the hell is wrong with you? You're just stalling so we don't make it. You're fired, baby. You're out. Not.
It's on there.
Seriously, will you get with it?
Yeah, it's on there.
It's not on there. Oh, I don't want it. There it is for all the heathens like us. Now you got a place to go. Now, it's too late now. It's 14 till 2. You think we're going to get 38 votes in 14 minutes? You're dreaming, man. You're in a dream world. You're in la-la land.
Well, look where I work.
I think you've been hanging around Clarence too long.
I say, look where I work.
And maybe fat-ass Jolly Joe Bell. Maybe those people are starting to rub off on you. I don't see anybody voting for I don't want to. And you want to know why?
Why?
They don't want to.
Well, it hasn't been 40 seconds left.
That's on there. 4 already. What are you talking about? 4 already, Mr. Hotshot. If we'd had that in the beginning, we'd be going for 40 million votes now on that poll.
So just leave it until Monday.
This is the poll for over the weekend.
Oh, okay.
But I'll change it over the weekend. I don't want to leave this on there the whole time.
What's it going to be over the weekend?
Why do you want to know?
Well, I'm just curious.
I have no idea.
Oh.
Why, what do you want it to be?
I think he was trying to tease it.
Have you got a poll idea?
That's what we call a teaser. No, I don't. I'm sure you got like 300 of them that are probably
Here's another choice from somebody. Oh, this is Brandon's other choice. Other than the old classic fun Neil Rogers show, what do you miss most about Good South Florida radio? He's got Rick and Suds, QAM FUN, the QAM FUN war of the 60s, Zeta, Howard Stern, Bob Lassiter, Rick Shaw, and then there never was any good radio. You think that's, I don't know.
Is Brandon turning into Charlie B?
Yeah. Well, he's trying to be helpful, that's all. Don't be knocking Brandon. He's okay.
What do you mean he knocks me?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you have your own war with him. I don't have any war going on with any of the MySpace people that I know of.
I mean, you told me you don't like Brandon.
I never told you. That's a lie. That is the biggest
I'm
freaking
just riling
lie.
You up, man.
You know something?
What's that?
You know that check you were going to get in December?
Mm-hmm.
1175, by the way, now, and I don't want has got 11 votes already, see?
Wow, look at that. Maybe we will get it.
I said I don't like. Well, now I want you to retract that because you know that's a freaking lie.
I'm just messing with you.
Look at that. It's up to 1180. And,
just wanted to rile you up. Hey, that check, by the way, is that a 2 times check? Is it?
That's a blank check.
What? It's a 2-cent check.
I don't want it's got 15 already. See, I told you. I don't want it. We don't want to be forced into believing some crap. Here's Sean from Hollywood's polls. What's the best thing that ever happened to you? Had kids, won or gained a lot of money, recovered from serious illness, kicked addiction, finally got laid, got married, got divorced, sex fantasy fulfilled, or quit a hated job. That's a good poll.
That's solid.
You like that? Rock solid?
Good
oh,
answer.
my God. Josh said it's
rock solid.
Woo! And you being as picky as can be.
Me?
It's not bad. I don't know. I just said that just for the hell of it.
Well, okay.
You're going to start getting defensive about it now?
Who just says things just for the hell of it?
I do.
What?
1180, dial 1180, WHAM Rochester, man, maybe the most boring radio station in history. It's 1185 now. They're coming in chunks, and I don't want it zooming.
Get it straight.
Look at the way it's zooming up there. I don't want it. If I salvage the 1200 with that, I don't want it. You owe me big time. And then Josh coming on there saying, I hate Brandon. I mean,
well, that's what you were saying before
Josh,
the show.
You weren't supposed to tell him that over the show. I've
only got a couple of people on MySpace that give a crap about me, and believe me, Brandon is one of them, or at least he pretends. Although he did say Don knows retiring and I'll be next. He said that when I sat down here this morning.
We all know why Brandon doesn't like Josh anyways.
Why is that?
Because Josh turned him down.
1189, that's not what I heard.
Oh, he didn't turn him down?
We need 11 votes in 11 minutes. That's only 1 minute. Now I think they can fear us, baby. Now I think it might be safe.
1190.
Woo! 1190. WOWO. Oh, no, that's right. Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Why don't you come up with this earlier? We could have had like 15.
Because we didn't need it earlier. Didn't I say to you twice during the show, do we want to have an alternative on there for people that don't want it? Didn't I say that twice? And you said, and just half an hour ago I said that.
Yeah.
You said, oh no,
let's
tough it out. Yeah.
Put the law said you had to have a religion.
Put an asterisk next to it, okay?
Okay, that's all I'll do.
Mr. I keep track of the polls every day, Schmendrick.
What'd you say?
For $1.75 an hour. You heard what I said.
Yeah, wait for that big raise.
an hour. 11.93. See, now we're going to make it. Oh. See, leave it to the old pollmeister, man. I've had my experience with polls over my lifetime.
That's what we've heard.
Yeah, and that's for damn sure. Let me tell you about Berlin.
That's okay.
Wow. Just thinking about that now, all of a sudden I got like a quiver in my kneecap. That's about as close as I come to any action anymore. Just a little quiver in my kneecap.
Thinking about it?
Just thinking about that. Was it last? It was last summer, not this past, but the one before.
And you're the one that says you don't want to travel to Europe anymore.
When they had the World Cup. I can't afford to travel to Europe anymore, neither can anybody else. Let me take one last look. You want to hear a grown man cry and vomit at the same time on the air. The American dollar, I'm not kidding you, man. It's in a free fall. It's insanity.
Yeah, let's get to the real good stuff, though. 1200.
Is that what we got?
1202.
1202. See, and how many say I don't want to? 20 some odd.
26.
22 on here, and I haven't even refreshed the damn thing yet. That's probably what got us over there.
27.
I don't want it. 27. See that? Mr. Smarty Pants, I know how to handle a poll. Believe me, especially in Berlin. Brother, that was one of the miracles, like I told you. Couldn't happen again in a million years, but it did.
Have you met any Poles in Poland?
No, I haven't been to Poland. I'm not Patska Polska. Huh? I still think stamp collecting might be an alternative.
What's that called
Let's see. Although this afternoon I'm going to go out shopping with a friend.
Gay.
No, well, what? Yeah, so what about it? What does that got to do with it?
No, it's a similar. It's called Paco.
Yeah, Taco Paco. We don't care about these numbers they're putting on there right now, although Wall Street made a little bit of a... Canadian, the loonie, 107.07, and the euro, 145.16 is over 145. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Your American dollar isn't worth a squat, baby.
Let's all just go home.
Can you believe that? 145, it's almost $1.50. I remember when it was 82 cents. I remember when the loonie was 62 cents, and now 107? 107?
What's the pound?
Over $2. 1204 on the poll. Thank you very much, by the way. Not to you, for the audience.
1211.
I don't wanna. 27. We don't wanna. 29. You can keep all your bubble mices, all your religions, all your hocus pocus, all your ignorance, all your Stone Age bullcrap. We don't wanna. Okay? What was that? What am I hearing there?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What was that?
I didn't mean for the mic to be on.
For what?
You pulled it, George.
No big deal.
What was that? Was that your cell phone?
No, I'm a multitasker. I'm working here as well as I'm,
Don't lose those stories again, Mr. Hotshot.
The biggest names.
Eric can't bail you out every time. You owe Eric an apology.
Still haven't gotten those, Eric, by the way.
Sports leader.